How you doing?
How was your weekend?
It was good. It was busy.
Yeah, that burst pipe was no fun. A scientist is with us. Good morning.
Good morning. It's
Yeah, that burst pipe was no fun.
it's like
It's like a
sometimes
can. It's a can of worms now because now we don't have any water pressure.
sometimes when you're a renter, you're like, "Oh, well, this is a surprise expense that I didn't have to deal with. So that's nice that I'm a renter and not a homeowner." But then what happens is your landlord sends over somebody who absolutely fucking botches the job. And so
Yeah,
you're like stuck with whatever they give you
a
and
giant hole in our wall
you can't
and
fucking fix it.
enough water pressure to prove there's water.
So it's like when you have your own place and you can hire your own plumber, you can be like, no, that's shit work. I'm not satisfied with that. Fix it. But you can't when you're a renter. You're just stuck with whatever fucking crumbs they give you.
Yeah.
It's the indignity of it, gets a little a little burdensome sometimes.
Well, so be it. So be it. A scientist says, I haven't decided if it's good yet. So my guess is that she's talking about this
The
book.
morning.
The morning?
Yes.
Oh. Okay, she said good evening.
Then it shall be good.
She said morning. She didn't say good morning.
Yeah.
Sip the coffee slowly. Yeah, well, it, I'm for me the energy is weird. Period.
Yeah.
Just everything's weird. Everything feels weird and odd. And I don't know if it's that that trifecta of you know, sextiles that are going on with the big planets right now.
Yes,
or
the outer planets are all being engaged by our little personal speedier planets. So I'm not surprised that it feels weird because
yeah.
this sort of configuration in the astrology doesn't happen very often.
Yeah.
So
Not my favorite placement for a new moon, just because Jacqueline's back. What's up, Jacqueline?
sweet.
Yeah, just because I don't. What was I saying?
A new moon in Gemini.
Oh, because I pay close attention to the decans, and that new moon was in the third decan of Gemini, which is the Ten of Swords decan, which is basically total ruin, absolute destruction, utter failure. That's why I was not promoting the new moon this month at all. Now it's behind us. It is what it is. But yeah, I wasn't promoting it because it's just, for me, it's not the greatest energy. Not that the decan or the tarot card is the prevailing energy at all. So people can the people might not even notice that happening. I just don't even want the ingredient in my, drink. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I figured out why I've been bothered by fruit flies when we're here in the office and during
Because it smells like
lives.
fruit.
Because I wear makeup
Oh yeah.
and it has a scent. And I think the fruit flies think I'm a fruit.
They're like, hey, this one might be real ripe over here.
We have to get rid of them somehow.
The fruit flies?
Yeah.
The best way is to get that. I think it's
You put apple cider vinegar out and some soap in
No,
a
no,
dish
no,
and
no,
it
no.
makes them drown.
really
I think so.
because I heard if they eat erythritol, I think it is,
Oh,
and they love it. Like if you put
Yeah,
it out, they're like, oh, my favorite.
right.
Ew.
There's
The
a lot of
dog
really
with- dog with
interesting,
chocolate.
sneaky ways to get rid of pest bugs. Did you know that mosquitoes, you just have to bait them to put their larvae in your specific bucket of stagnant water, and that you've added this bacteria to. You know those mosquito dunks that you
Yeah,
can buy
yeah.
at the store? They're
Yeah.
the best mosquito killer. So what you do is you set out all of these nice little cozy lures for them, being like, wouldn't you like to breed in this
This is
spot?
a great place to start a family.
Yeah, there's some dead grass clippings in there. That's super stinky and nice, right? This little puddle of water I've put out. And what happens is you can see they make larvae in there. So they'll lay their eggs and then the eggs will hatch and the larvae, they look like little shrimps.
Dude, I came home one day thinking I brought home a bunch of tadpoles.
Tadpoles,
I was
and they
like,
weren't.
Mom and Dad, look at all the tadpoles, and they were like, "That's mosquitoes. Get them the fuck out of my
Yeah,
house."
yeah. So they really jump around. So they're super
They're
entertaining.
like, "Doo-doo, doo-doo."
So
Like sea monkeys.
anyway, if you put out these little larva buckets, what happens is that they eat the bacteria and it makes them incapable of digesting. It's so brilliant. But it only affects the mosquitoes, and not like dragonflies, which also breed in water and kill mosquitoes. So it's like you're just creating a bunch of dead larvae. It's dope. And then you just dump it out, refresh it all summer long. I did that in our front yard, and now we have like 30% as many mosquitoes as we did before I did it.
Really?
Cut it way down. Why am I talking about bugs?
You started it, didn't you?
I keep being pestered by a little fucking gnat in here, and like, it's because I smell nice, not because I smell bad. I feel like I look like Pigpen.
I can believe that the one day that we get news that, you know, in this fucking really dry period where there's not a story that like I'm head over heels over, certainly to the extent that I want to follow it on a daily basis. So the one day we get the story, you know, a story on the thing we have been following for the last year.
That Judge Lyman finally ruled on the Blake Lively v. Baldoni.
On that day, the pipe bursts.
Yeah. That was a day that we couldn't.
My initial
We
reaction.
had a plumber in the kitchen.
My bugs are so scary to me, said Conley DiCaprio. Spiders especially, I literally scream. Well, you should change your total attitude towards spiders, in my opinion. And the reason is because they're such a beneficial
Here's
bug.
the thing. They're still really freaky. I have changed my attitude towards spiders.
Yeah, I still got to come get them.
I never used to kill them, but they used to make me really freaked out. And now I still get really freaked out, but then I have to call you over to rescue them from whatever precarious place they put themselves in, like the tub or something.
In the South, we get these southern house spiders.
Oh, yeah, they get enormous.
They're
it's crazy.
big. They get really big. They're not like,
They're not like Australian
No,
spiders.
a scientist would be like, you know, with those fucking huntsmen that are like the size of people. Be like, this is my cousin, and that's our spider. I don't know your name. But we have these pretty big house spiders. And the coolest thing about these house spiders is, because I like to keep them around. I like them. They eat a lot of the bad bugs that we don't want. And
they're certainly beneficial.
Yeah, they're very beneficial. Yeah. And so I like having them around. But the coolest thing about those bugs, those spiders, is that they have a lifespan of 4 years. Isn't that amazing? So we just lost a senior citizen a little while ago. I mean, months ago. And I watched that woman, because it's the female spiders. The males are small. They end up getting killed by the females, I believe, after the mating.
So we have like a window spider in between the pane of glass and the screen in the bathroom that you've been like keeping tabs on.
Well, no, this is multiple generations. Yeah. This is the third generation.
We haven't been here that long.
This is the third generation. Well, this one's just begun. So this is the third. We got here toward the end of one.
Dale knows his spiders.
I do.
There's apparently a bunch of spider mythology that there's like their great wisdom, fucking whatever. Like, I guess they're good omens. Spiders are good in ancient myths.
Sarada has some remedies to arachnophobia. She says there are tricks. Name them silly names.
Oh, that helps. Yeah.
Leroy Jenkins. Picture a tiny saddle and a toy riding it.
This is great.
Imagine like I'm trying to picture myself actually like, because look, they freak me out too. By the way, I mean I'm not immune to creepy. I mean creepy is creepy. It's creepy.
Oh my god, especially when they're quick. Holy shit! It's just jump out of my skin. It's horrible.
So but
Sorry for the leaf blower sound. Our fucking neighborhood is so loud, bro.
So anyway, I like spiders very much. I love them, actually. They're my favorite. I got so lucky when I was in Guatemala. We were in Tikal, which is the tropical rainforest where they shot the Return of the Jedi scene where he's coming in low and there are pyramids sticking out of the trees. Those pyramids are from Tikal.
Oh, neat.
It was a great place. But I don't know how, because I never told anyone that I love bugs, but I was just standing around. We were like trampling through the jungle or whatever. And then like I was with 4 people who were on the movie we were making, and they're like, yo, fucking Dale, check this out. Tarantula. And I've never seen one.
In the wild.
Never, yeah.
Amazing.
And they're all over Texas and wherever, but I've never seen one.
I've only seen people, like captive ones where people show off.
Sure, I've seen those too.
But that's really cool that you spotted
But it was
one.
small. It was only about that big.
So in the wild, when they're like feral tarantulas and not tame tarantulas, domesticated tarantulas, are they like quick and wily? Like, do they avoid you, or are they still like slow and?
I think they can be very fast. Yeah.
No. The one you encountered.
Oh, this one fast, lightning. And the thing is, I got real close. Like, I mean, real close. Like, I got some beautiful shots. Remember those shots?
Yeah, the pictures. Yeah.
Yeah, beautiful. With my phone, but my phone was taking spectacular. Like, man, we had a bunch of the camera crew with us in Tikal, and they were just so jealous of my shots. They were like, "What phone is that?" I'm like, "It's not the phone, buddy.
It's the eye.
It's the eye." But I got these really great shots of this tarantula, and I got really close to it, and I thought it was being cool or whatever. And it's shot there, different angle, just loving this moment I get to spend with it. And then it took off like lightning. Like, I didn't even see it. It just turned into a blur. And I looked up and I was like, wow, that thing could have bit me in a second.
Well, I guess when you got 8 legs, you can move pretty fast.
Yeah. Bipedals are what, the beeping?
The fucking noise in this neighborhood, bro. Here's the thing. Here's the trick.
It's like the richest neighborhood in town.
Here's the fucking scam in America, right? Like, we are renters, but we're in like a really nice neighborhood. Like, we really lucked out. And all of these homes are like, if any of them go on the market, they're like multi-million dollars. It's crazy. But when you live in a neighborhood like that,
small town, it's crazy.
I know. When you live in a neighborhood like that, you always have to be suspicious when you go into a neighborhood and all the lawns are like pristinely manicured, because that means that neighborhood is extremely noisy with the fucking lawn care equipment. Yeah. So that's what we have to deal with all the time, is like everybody's beautiful, perfect monoculture, good for nothing lawns.
So
take constant maintenance.
Bobo said that what'd she say? She said, I had cascade bug on my leg and I didn't freak out.
What's a cascade bug?
I don't know. Is it like a water bug? Because I would lose it if it was a water bug on my leg.
Look it up. What's a cascade bug?
She also said that she played Animal Crossing. We played Animal Crossing. I loved catching those tarantulas.
Well, there's a trick to it.
Of course there was.
Because
you have to sneak up.
I can't remember what happens. You get bit and then you're fucked up or something? And then you like lose time or what? I can't remember.
Then you wake up and time has passed and you have no memory.
Yeah, but you lose something, don't you? I mean, they don't.
I don't know. I don't think you lose anything.
You don't like die game over in Animal Crossing, but what happens? I can't remember. I used to get anxious with the fucking tarantulas hunting.
Yeah.
This is why I'm not made for video games, man. I'm like too much of a stress case.
You want to play Bloodborne though?
I can't handle because I think the fucking design is so great, and I love creepy, scary shit. I just don't want to have to be like competing with it.
You got to play the Resident Evils. Little black cat.
That's
My
nice.
cat eats spiders. I used to have a little black cat. Its name was Little One. Isn't that a cute name?
That's a really good name.
I love Little One.
When cats eat bugs, it's so freaky because they're such innocent little earthlings, and then they do some sort of horrific carnage, and then you're like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm living with an animal.
Dude, that happened with our dog. We were walking down the street and these big ass cicadas were everywhere, and there was this big ass living cicada on the fucking road.
Yeah, like,
and our dog
around.
was walking by it and it scooped, like it knew the delicatessen.
The delicacy. Yeah.
Yeah, the delicacy, my bad. It knew the delicacy, saw it, scooped it up, and we heard the crunch. So and it was like an absolute living one because it went, oh, when she bit it, it gave the big buzz.
So disgusting.
And she fucking crunched down.
I had to look it up. I'm like, oh my God, do I have to get my dog like dewormed now or something? It's got like cicada parasites. And no, apparently cicadas are very nutritious snacks for dogs.
Dude, we had a dog client that was like, hey, so we found out our dog can catch squirrels, so be careful.
Yeah.
And then proceeded to tell us that
at least it was
it didn't make it out alive.
Dispatched the squirrel swiftly with a crunch.
Horrible. Oh God, I would never look at that dog the same. No. I didn't see it. I kept looking at her going, you're a murderer. You're a cold-blooded murderer.
The food chain is horrific. Since we've elevated as a species and we no longer have to bother ourselves with things like food chains, having to be confronted by the fact that the food chain is very much still a thing that exists constantly is really awful.
Yeah. Oh, that's interesting.
Will you look up that bug?
Cascade bug?
Yeah. I want to know what we're talking about here. How horrified should I be?
Real horrified.
Really?
No, I don't know yet. Oh yeah. Oh my. Oh, that's a cicada.
It's a cicada. It's called a.
Well, it says it doesn't call it a cat. She said cascade bug, and then I put cascade bug, and it
Oh,
showed up as
I wonder
cicada.
whether it auto corrected. Like when you search
It
cascade,
doesn't.
it
Oh, let me
thinks you're
go.
trying to say cicada.
Oh, it doesn't. It doesn't even say that. You know, how it usually say showing you
Yeah, like, did
cicadas.
you mean right? Whatever.
If it was a cicada, I'm glad you didn't freak out because they're cute.
Yeah, but
Big ass
they're
eyes.
huge.
Yeah, they're big, so they might startle you at first, but they're harmless.
Hey,
I
Dale.
can understand getting it off of you.
Speaking of typos, on
Did,
your
did I make another one?
you said bake lively.
I did.
Yes. That's the name of her
Where
cooking show.
where is it on the thumbnail itself?
No.
Oh,
Well, it's on the like you write. I think you
not
write.
on the thumbnail. Is it in the descriptions?
Yes.
Okay. Blake Lively. Let's talk about this shit.
Oh, is it in the thumbnail? I don't know. I don't know where I saw it.
I'm gonna go look.
You're gonna go fix it.
You gotta like look over my shit before we go live.
Maybe
man.
you should proofread your own shit so I don't
You think
have
I
to.
don't? You think I don't?
Bake lively.
Yeah, because the brain throws the L in there and you move on.
A scientist said, my cat got very upset with me a few months ago for not letting her play with the death toy, a venomous spider that got inside. Though her survival instincts aren't great because she still tried to catch a second bee that got outside
Oh,
after a
boy.
previous interaction with a bee meant a vet visit because it turns out she's allergic. Jesus Christ.
Oh.
I don't know how anybody can relax in Australia. What do you mean venomous spiders can get into your house?
Yeah, dude.
This is not something that you have to deal with. You could just leave that that very scary country. I can't imagine it. Venomous, poisonous, everything.
Okay, now it says Blake Lively. Maybe she was, hitting the pipe. I have no idea.
Yeah, maybe.
All right.
A really great book is called River of Doubt, and it's about Theodore Roosevelt. He went to go and try and like discover this uncharted territory in Brazil.
Yeah.
And he ended up he like crewed up with all of these people who were like known like the best of the best adventurers, but they had never done the Amazon rainforest. They had been like, he actually found like one guy, he was like
few had,
he was
really.
like, you're perfect for the job, and he was actually like an Arctic adventurer or
Ouch.
something, like completely different.
I got to get a new kind of boot.
So the whole story involves like as soon as they set foot in the fucking Amazon rainforest, everything is trying to kill them. If it's not the heat, it's like the bad water. If it's not the bad water, it's like insects that will like sting you to death and you just can't avoid them, or like venomous snakes, or like all these kinds of predatory beasts, and like everything. It's just like the most horrific, stupid. He was like,
Jungles are
he
intimidating.
was like, come on in, gang. We're going to go on a safari. And it was just like
Dude.
nothing like they'd ever encountered before.
We stayed at a little lodge in the middle of the jungle in Tikal, and it's a generator run place.
Mm-hmm.
So they shut everything off at night. Like the whole place just goes dead. The only generators that are running are for the kitchen, and that's it.
So there's no lights.
There's no lights at night. They shut it down. You have small battery powers to run like things like charging and stuff like that.
Right.
But like everything else is like all the main lights, like the overhead lights are all. And you got lights in the cottages and stuff, but that's it. So so if you step outside, it's pure black. And
Because there's a huge canopy, right? So you don't even
Yeah.
get moonlight, right?
so the place has jaguars, you know. So
In Guatemala.
in Guatemala, and they have a lot of monkeys. So all the doors lock automatically on the cabins. So I wake up at, I don't even know what time it was, like 3 a.m. or something, and I decide I'm gonna go just sit outside for a minute and just enjoy it, knowing it's like a little risky because there's jaguars and stuff like that. But
Oh my God, you could have gotten dragged away by a fucking cat.
I go outside my door and the door closes. Click. I can't get back in.
Yeah, dude, that was so stupid.
I ended up sleeping on there's a hammock right outside our door. I ended up sleeping in the hammock, terrified.
Yeah.
Like I fell asleep utterly terrified. And then, one of my roommates got, because I was knocking on the door, but I didn't want to wake everybody up. I guess that was kind of stupid since my life could have been in jeopardy, but it's a very terrifying feeling to be in a jungle where it's just like being like when we camp in the Pacific Northwest, and like, am I sure all the things that might attract a grizzly are gone?
Yeah, right. Also, like at night, you can't see in the dark, but whatever's preying on you can see very well.
I just saw on Reddit there was this post of this girl who was was on her phone. Pitch black. The only thing is lighting is there that's lit is her phone.
Okay.
And there's a CV camera or whatever they call them. What do they call them? CT camera? Whatever they're called. Close, whatever.
Closed circuit
CC?
surveillance, yeah.
Yeah, whatever. So CV. So in one of those cameras, on some whatever, it's like a lodge, a hotel, motel, I don't know what it is. She doesn't feel it, dude. But all you see is you see her sitting there, and then all you see this bear's head comes in and sniffs her leg and then pulls out. She literally has no idea.
She's oblivious.
Oblivious. Just sitting there on her fucking phone. It's like the perfect commercial for phones will totally take you. They absorb you.
Yeah.
They remove you from the moment if you let them.
Yeah.
This woman was gone. She didn't exist. It was just her within the phone she was watching.
There's also a lot to be said about normalcy bias is a thing that humans do, where just because you've never been attacked by a bear outside, you assume you're not going to be attacked by a bear outside because you'll always
every
have
victim's
a bias.
you never think it would happen to you.
Yeah, you'll always have a bias towards what has been normal for you. I think about that a lot when I went down the
Hence,
rabbit
you're the
hole.
paranoid one at the party after it happens.
Huh?
Hence, you're the paranoid one at the party after it happens.
Yeah, right. I went down the societal collapse rabbit hole a few years ago.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I remember.
Super fun.
I remember.
You remember?
Sure.
I didn't go too crazy. I wasn't like, we got to stockpile food in buckets or anything.
We do have 4 or 5 packets of beef that's going to last until 20.
That's not true. What are you talking
2200 or something. We do. You want me to go get them? I'll go get them.
Packets of beef?
Yeah.
What are you talking about? We don't even eat beef.
We have beef. Well, we did at the time. That's how long ago it was.
Packets of beef?
Yeah,
what are you even
beef
talking
stew.
about?
Maybe we got it for camping. I don't know.
Yes, we got that for camping.
Oh, okay.
We got dehydrated stews and shit.
Yeah.
For camping, Dale.
Oh, that was for camping. Okay.
Okay. I wasn't stockpiling food. Although it is nice to have rice and beans in your house. Whatever. Anyway, that wasn't my point. My point for societal collapse is that I was talking about normalcy bias, where they're basically okay, you live in a very comfortable nation where your society has been functioning for long enough, at least as long as you can remember since you were a baby. And so you have a bias towards that being your normal.
Sure.
That's the base level when you don't really recognize how extraordinary it is that you live in this relative comfort. So collapse would happen. And in nations that have experienced collapse, this is how it goes, right? Where they're well, the power turns off and you just expect it's going to get turned back on because every other time you've had a windstorm or something and something goes wrong with the transformer someplace, they'll send the repair crews out and they'll fix it. But this time they won't. And you'll just keep expecting that they will because that's your normalcy bias acting on your mind,
Yeah.
But one day it just won't come back on because there won't be any way to do it. Is that freaky to think about? Normalcy bias is extremely comforting for sure.
All right, listen.
What
I'm saying is that oh wait, what do we got? There's some chats going on. Living in Australia takes a certain strength, says Jane Nicholson.
Oh yeah.
She says, we navigate snakes, spiders, and sharks. We respect them and they generally leave us alone. There was that incredible video, was it? Which was that? Was it in Australia? Where somebody abused an animal or something? And
No, that was Hawaii.
Oh, it was Hawaii. That's right. It was Hawaii.
Hawaii especially is like that because tourists.
Leave our shit alone.
Everybody hates tourists in Hawaii.
Yeah.
Well, the locals do anyway. And this guy went and tried to throw a rock at an endangered seal. What's up?
Guava watched Small Group. It was the only of your IMDb projects that they hadn't seen.
Oh, that's sweet. They're
I'm
watching all your
personally
stuff.
Christian, but it was. I'm personally not Christian, but it was still fun. You ever do a sequel? I feel like it was inviting of a sequel. Yeah, we planned one. We did.
Oh,
We
so
had,
that was planned when you were working on that script.
yeah, we're planning 3 movies for it.
I think it should be
just didn't
said
succeed.
that the comedy, the type of comedy
Yeah.
in Small Group is not your type of comedy.
No.
And that there was more extreme kind of comedy that you
Yeah.
had like worked out where you're like, tell me how that's funny.
It was
It wasn't.
it was a lot of work to get that script right.
Yeah.
And it wasn't perfect either, but it was shootable. Yeah, I'm not a Christian either. Actually, I just made that movie because, well, actually, I made that movie because I was told that they were going to make my movie next.
Then what happened?
Never mind. We made that movie though, and look, it was an interesting accomplishment. What I do like about all the the 3 movies I have on my IMDb, the thing I like about them all is Dawn's Plum was it was in its own league in terms of us just being artists and fucking doing what artists do. Like there was nothing that came close to that thus far in my life. The book is a close one to that, but totally different experience. But just absolute freedom artistically. Just do what you want, feel what you want, be what you want, no consequence. We had nothing to lose because everyone was absolutely assured of the fact that we could fail and might likely fail. So it was like the perfect conditions, because there's a certain amount of, whatever. There's a certain amount of, well, when there's so much at stake, like other people's money and it matters, it turns into a different game. It doesn't turn into the same game. When you can just when you're just playing with house money, essentially.
Yeah.
This guy was throwing peanuts from his fortune at something that he knew was probably going to sink and die. So he was like, well, here's how much I'll risk, So we could just play. So I love that. April Apocalypse, I was really proud of because it was a movie that I had to come in and fix. And that was really fun because you go in and you're like, wow, this film is, you can see there's a core there that can be worked with, but then you're like, it can't be seen in its current form. And you're like, okay, I got to fix this. And it was just an editorial, from an editing perspective, it was bad. And then, sat with the filmmaker and just gleaned out the best parts and put it together in, I think, a really nice way. But Small Group, what I'm proud about that movie is that, I took a guy who was in marketing. He'd never even written a screenplay in his life. He'd never directed, and he'd never acted beyond doing little bits as a comedian-esque thing back in the day. He'd do little bits that they would write for internet. But other than those things, he'd never actually acted before. And I got asked to come in. What I did was I offered my services as a favor to somebody who was going to be making my movie. And they said, I'm working on this Christian movie. I am also not a Christian. And I was like, well, if the director or writer, the writer, he wasn't a director at the time, but he was like, the writer, I said, well, if he doesn't mind that I'm not Christian, I'll develop the screenplay with him. He didn't care. And so we worked on that script for about 18 months almost. And then I ended up promoting him to not only direct the movie, but to play one of the leads. And this was all just in the development of him and the property. And, there's a certain relationship that gets born out of that process. And I saw that he was able to do it. And it's I'm really proud of that because he was, literally never done any of it before in his life.
I also think it's astonishing that you managed to film in 2 countries with that small of a budget.
Yeah, we had less than $1 million and we shot in 2 countries in 20 days here and
20 days?
5 there. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but then there's Obsession. They did 20 days with $750,000. Everything that was the same, except they did $250 million in the box office or whatever, and we did about 20 grand. I don't know what it was.
Yeah, well, they had a distributor, so that helps.
Yeah, it's true. Still proud of the movie. Don't care about whether or not it's a fucking whatever. They're talking about Vegemite, and I'm just saying, I heard that stuff is horrible. Now, I've never had Vegemite, anything. I've sung Vegemite sandwich since the 80s, of course, because of Men at Work.
I feel like I don't know what it tastes like, but I'm just assuming that it tastes like you know at the bar where they have that ingredient that they put in cocktails called bitters?
Yeah.
And it's like really herby, but also kind of
Depends on which
intense.
bitters you're going after there.
Right.
But yeah.
I always imagine that Vegemite tastes like bitters.
Mm.
Do you think that that's true?
I don't know.
I've never tasted it either.
You should ask your sister. She lives there
Isn't
now.
it like salty?
Is Vegemite soft? Is it salty? I
It's
don't know.
not sweet, right?
I don't know anything about it. You're asking me about something I've never put to mouth.
I've been exploring a bunch of vegan recipes, and there's a few vegan meat recipes where they try to replicate the meat flavor, and they'll use Marmite or Vegemite as one of the ingredients to try and it's like a Worcestershire sauce type flavor, right?
Intense salty umami, says a scientist.
Yes. No thanks. I think it sounds great as an ingredient. I don't think that I'd like to spread it on toast.
They're on. Apparently, Happiness says that they're on Amazon. You can get Vegemite and
Marmite.
Marmite. I'm not doing it. I don't want to do it.
I think I'd like to try and create fake meat. I think that sounds
And they use Vegemite to do
like
it?
a fun project, yeah.
What kind of fake meat is that?
Like beef, fake beef, vegan
Fake
beef.
You crave meat, don't you?
I don't actually, because since we went vegetarian like last year, was it?
A couple years ago, I think now.
Whatever. The idea of eating meat now, not fun. I don't think I'd enjoy it.
I would tear that shit off the bone. I would rip that with my teeth with purpose.
However, I do miss things like deli meats and sandwiches is a super fun time. I miss sandwiches.
Deli meats and sandwiches?
Vegetarian sandwiches without trying to replicate meat or deli meat is like, ugh, boring, lame, no fun.
All right, listen to me,
There's
man.
only so much you can do with sauces.
I want to talk about this big lively thing and get it over with.
Okay.
I didn't read the whole thing.
The whole judge's order?
No.
I didn't either, but I saved it so that we could go over it today. I thought it was interesting. So Judge Lyman has awarded Blake Lively attorney's fees. Okay, so just generally, right? Just generally, like the broad view about winners and losers here. This is what's important, I think. Justin Baldoni sued Blake Lively for $400 million. Okay?
Yes.
A lawsuit got thrown out. She prevailed on her motion to dismiss his lawsuit. He was awarded absolutely nothing for his lawsuit and instead has to pay her the attorney's fees for fighting his lawsuit that got thrown out. He got nothing. Okay? So that's his score sheet. And then we got Blake Lively over here, where she sued Justin Baldoni. She didn't name the amount. She wanted a jury trial. She ended up settling. We don't know what the exact terms of the settlement. But she has been awarded attorney's fees from him and has had to pay him nothing. So only one party paid, and that's the Wayfair parties.
I'm going to be very interested to see what Lyman lets her get. It's in from what I've gleaned so far, and I don't know if I'm going to read it.
He's not going to rule on it. They just have to determine.
No, he is going to rule on it because they're going to submit legal fees, and he's going to be the judge about whether or not they're fair and accurate.
I see. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So we don't know how much he's going to get yet. He may deny some of those fees. There's a conflation here too, because Blake Lively also sued Justin Baldoni, and she's not getting those legal fees. So the only legal fees she's going to be entitled to are going to be the legal fees that can be attributed to the defense of the $400 million lawsuit.
Of his lawsuit, his defamation suit.
And I'm sure the judge is going to be discerning about what those are.
So I did try and figure out why she wasn't awarded damages and treble damages, right? Because that is also what this law would entitle her to.
Supposed to.
And it's and the law is really straightforward about it being like an automatic thing. As soon as the defendant, Blake Lively, prevails on the motion to dismiss, that plaintiff must award her damages and in treble damages.
I will just say that as it stands, this is a huge loss for her. Because to me, this is the importance of that is about punishment, right?
Deterrence, yeah.
It's deterrent.
Well, I will tell you what Blake Lively's side has said.
Yeah.
Okay?
My guess is they're going to spin the record and be like,
So check this out.
Blake Lively has been. Go ahead. Let's hear it.
Blake Lively.
Told you it was going to start that way. Told you.
It's Ezra Hudson and Michael Gottlieb. Okay, they're talking to Deadline.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Blake Lively won her motion under Civil Code Section 47.1.
Right.
Today's ruling makes it clear that Miss Lively brought her claims in good faith,
Yes.
that there was no evidence she acted with malice, and that she is the prevailing defendant under Section 47.1. The court is awarding Miss Lively attorney's fees and costs, and has explained that a prevailing defendant under 47.1 may seek damages
Yes.
using different procedural mechanisms.
Correct.
The parties' settlement agreement expressly preserves Miss Lively's rights to obtain those damages.
So please tell me they're going to do it, is what I'm hoping.
Miss Lively is gratified that her lawsuit shows how Section 47.1 and laws like it create a path for survivors to hold accountable those who weaponize online attacks and retaliatory lawsuits to intimidate and silence survivors.
Okay.
I think that Judge Lyman was
It
really...
is a far cry from anything that they set out to do in this case. So to me, while it certainly goes into the win column, it was the cursory win. Like, it was supposed to be the thing that you're like, oh, and they got that. Like, so it doesn't make me feel a whole lot better beyond the fact that it's not corrupt to its bone, right? The court, Lyman, the situation.
It seems as though the problem...
Deep into the meat, I would say, though.
The issue for Lyman to award her damages in treble, right? Triplicate? Whatever. Was because he had to apply Rule 54D of the Federal Rules of Civil Procedure. Lively responds, she's sought a schedule for the submission of damages evidence consistent with federal rules of civil procedure, which she says provide the appropriate procedure for determining any disputed factual issues related to these damages and awards. A straightforward reading, this is Judge Lyman talking, of Rule 54D, however, reveals that Lively's position must be rejected because treble punitive damages are neither costs nor attorney's fees under Rule 54D. Lively cannot seek them pursuant to the procedures outlined in that provision. This is because she has a lawsuit before the federal court. Now, the thing is that Judge Lyman has supported the fact that she is applying California law to this lawsuit because the Wayfarer parties have also decided to use California law. I can't remember exactly how they did it, but anyway, they forfeited trying to fight that it's California law that's applicable. So the judge is basically like, you can go and sue for those damages in California, like, no problem. But he can't award them there because he has to abide by these federal rules of civil procedure, in which apparently she's only allowed costs or attorney's fees and not damages.
It's weird to me. That's just weird to me. Isn't he supposed to be... I don't understand. Like, I just feel like... It just feels like constantly... Or, how do I put this? It just feels like as this thing has unwound before us, that it was... And I'm not saying Gottlieb wasn't under the influence of his client, but that Gottlieb just made all the wrong choices in the filings of... that he's pressed against these people. Like, he just all the wrong fucking filings. Like, he could have filed in the state of New Jersey. He could have filed in the state of California. You know, maybe he could have filed in New York State. I don't know.
Yeah, but they were trying to cite federal law. It was federal law that was being...
Yeah, but they were using
California.
They were using California law.
Yes, I know, but it was labor laws. There was a bunch of laws that were being violated. And so I think they just found the venue that was best for them. And she had actually prevailed She had prevailed on a lot of the jurisdiction fights. So they weren't wrong. You know, like...
They were wrong. They lost all of the SH because the Fed couldn't hear the case.
Yes, it's also...
I mean, so...
Jed Wallace,
that's that.
She couldn't fight Jed Wallace in this court either because his jurisdiction would either be in Texas or California.
They should have been filing.
So she should fucking just
various states.
She should just go get his ass in California and their asses too.
So you think they were just trying to consolidate? You think they were just trying to put it all together in one and then, like, you know?
I don't know how lawyers do this. I'm not one, but like I feel like they picked the venue they thought would be best. I also think that it was probably they felt like it was a good choice to choose federal court because if it did go to trial, it wouldn't have been filmed.
I think, well, I think it was that. I think it was more like Blake
But
Lively
that
was
certainly
like,
wasn't the only
I
reason.
don't want the shit show that was the Depp v. Heard.
Yeah.
And so I'm thinking that then he was like, well, we could file in federal court. Because, one of the things that he might have said as their attorney is, or as their prospective attorney is, hey, just so you know, this thing's going to be televised. And then they'll be like, is there any way to avoid that? And then his answer might have been, the only way to avoid that is to file in federal court. Okay, well, what does that mean? Because there's no way Blake Lively is figuring that out. This is not something Blake Lively came up with as a strategy. 0% chance of that. She was presented by the attorneys with her options. And one thing that I can imagine with, a semblance of, some semblance of confidence is that where she would weigh in is things she would want or things that she wouldn't want in terms of, exposure.
Yeah.
And in particular, but maybe in other ways as well. So I think there's at least, some shot out there that she was like, yo, I don't want to be on TV. This isn't going on TV. I'm not going to have my testimony on TV, et cetera, et cetera. And you have to think that, and I think that, certainly in my case, we weren't going for a settlement. And there are probably cases they get filed where they're like 100% targeting a settlement in terms of the plaintiffs. But usually when you're dealing with like higher ground kind of lawsuits, right? Then those people are in terms of mentality, very likely in it for the long haul in their mind. Mm-hmm. Like we want a trial or this, like we would settle, but the only settlement was everything. We get everything back. That was the only settlement that was good for us, right? As we're in the early parts of the trial, and then you get wore down financially, emotionally, physically. You get worn out by the thing, right? Mentally, for sure. Did I say that already? So I think there's a reasonable percentage shot, if not a high percentage shot, that she was like, I'm not going to put myself and then, you don't know who, because a lawyer might say something like, hey, I don't think that they'll get Taylor Swift on the stand. I don't think they will. But because she's center piece in, or one of the centers of, or in the middle of one of the points of contention that she put in her complaint and that we saw aired out as the discovery unfolded. Mm-hmm. So that's another imagination I can put together where she's like, I don't want to drag my friends, so I'm certainly, so I can see a very clear path to her being like, I don't want to be on TV. You got to make it work. To which then Gottlieb would have to try and bend the case into, or, shape it into federal
I also think it made sense because they had so many jurisdictions to balance here that federal court covers them all, and especially with the federal labor laws being, broken. Like it was, these anti-discrimination and anti, sexual harassment laws. They're state and federal, so they didn't lose anything by going federal. But also, it was a California company. Yeah, but I mean that they would have not lost by being in a state. It was a California company. They did business in New Jersey. It's like they also had New York offices, and she has a New York domicile. It's like it's very difficult to figure out. Baldoni lived in California at the time. Like, how do you figure out jurisdiction for this? Hopefully she
brought California law, right?
Hopefully she was instructed, and now she's going to go chase them and try to get her treble damages.
Yeah, me too. That's my hope.
But she might just be fucking done with it and moving on with her life.
She might be.
And who could blame her?
This might be the very last time we talk about this with any substance to it, beyond in passing. That could be ever forever.
I wonder if that's one of the reasons why Baldoni went and moved to Nashville. So he's not a California resident anymore. Right? Well, does he have to be sued in Tennessee now?
No, it would be at the he can still be held accountable for the things he did in California. Mm. He still has to. But he's still subject to any of the laws relative to.
But is it a California lawsuit now?
I don't know. I want her to file for it.
Yeah.
I want him to fucking pay. You know, the judge said it again in this, apparently. He said it again. You know, she filed her lawsuit in good faith. She, you know, there was no malice on her part whatsoever. She was doing what the law entitled her to do. And we know, there's no doubt, the evidence is as clear as the day is fucking bright, that Justin Baldoni engaged in crisis PR with the intent to harm her.
Yeah.
And they did harm her. We know that to be fact. There's no amount of lies that you can tell yourself or the public to change that absolute fucking etched in stone reality.
I thought you'd appreciate this bit from the lawyer. This was the section that was cited by ex-patriarch 2 when he made a post about this. Do you want to hear it?
Sure.
Judge Lyman says, common sense confirms what the text suggests. Section 47.1 does not limit fees and costs solely to defendants who prevail on the basis of Section 47. Section 47.1b does not limit fees and costs solely to defendants who prevail on the basis of Section 47.1a. Imagine a retaliatory lawsuit initiated with the intent of harassing, intimidating, silencing, and otherwise burdening a survivor of sexual assault because she has communicated with others about her experience. The lawsuit is frivolous in more ways than can be counted. For example, subject matter jurisdiction, personal jurisdiction, venue, service of process, statute of limitations, failure to state a claim, etc.
And accountability.
At the same time, the complaint contains utterly false but factually well-pleaded allegations of malice. In dismissing the suit, the court does so on some basis.
Actually well-pleaded, huh?
Yes, utterly false, but factually well pleaded.
Huh. It's weird because I saw the evidence and
he's
saw
talking
something.
he's talking about a hypothetical case. He's not talking about this case.
Oh.
He said, imagine somebody who's a victim of sexual assault.
Okay.
So he's not talking about this case.
Okay.
In dismissing the suit, the court does so on some basis other than Section 47.1a. It cannot reasonably be maintained that because the case is so frivolous and because the court chooses to dismiss the case on grounds other than malice, the prevailing defendant is not entitled to fees or for her costs defending against the lawsuit. That outcome would be inconsistent with the statute's aims of deterrence and compensation. The plaintiff, not expecting to win, but knowing that the cost and burden of defending a lawsuit can wear down and silence critics, particularly when the critic is an individual without the resources to defend against a lawsuit, would have succeeded in achieving its retaliatory aims. That cannot be right. In arguing otherwise, the Wayfair parties rely on Evans v. Walker, a case in which a federal district court in California dismissed a federal copyright claim and declined to exercise supplemental jurisdiction over the plaintiff's remaining state law claims, including ones implicating Section 47.1. The court explained that because it did not grant relief under Section 47.1, then there was no basis for fees or damages under that provision. The Evans decision does not explain the grounds for that conclusion, and at argument, the Wayfair parties were largely unable to explain why that might be the case other than citing the outcome in Evans. To the extent that Evans is on point, the court does not find it persuasive. The court instead determines, in line with the analysis above, that prevailing defendants may recover fees under Section 47.1 even where they prevail on grounds other than 47.1a. So the whole thing. I'll stop there because it's
so that's just saying that he can not give her the treble damages, but give her the fees is basically what that
yes.
says.
So she has factually prevailed
Yes.
on 47.1. She
Yes.
can take that and take it to go and get those fees. I mean, those treble damages
in the
California.
appropriate venue.
Like she has his precedent and this whole document. This thing is 47 pages that I'm not going to read, but he's giving her several instructions, right? I don't know. It's like one thing that I love, that I appreciated about following this case is that Judge Lyman does teach a lot. I mean, I guess every judge does in his rulings. I learned a lot anyway. I mean, what do I know? I've never read judges' rulings before.
We have Sabrosonic. I don't know. I'm bad at names. It says, number one, she can't receive any money. Number one, she hasn't received any money. Number two, there is no NDA. Number three, she can't take any further action. There is nothing in this settlement that is beneficial to Lively at all. Absolutely nothing. I don't disagree. I think that, there's obviously she's getting her legal fees. So there's, as it relates to
I'm sorry.
the
So
frivolous thought.
Cybersonic is talking about the settlement of her case.
Yeah.
What we're discussing today is the judge's ruling on Baldoni's
On
case.
47-1, yeah.
These are very different.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're not talking about the same thing.
No.
So Lively settled her lawsuit against the Wayfarer parties.
Yeah.
That has been closed. That matter is over. But what we're talking about is the judge's recent ruling where he was trying to figure out what can be done to award Lively what she's entitled to as a result of Baldoni's lawsuit. He sued her for defamation, and that was proven to be a frivolous lawsuit that was thrown out. And so she is entitled to some award for that, some remedy. Okay? That's what we're talking about today.
There were two parts of the remedy that she would have been entitled to. One was the legal fees, and the other was treble damages.
So here, Cybersonic says she can't take any further action. Correct about her lawsuit,
Right.
That's settled. Incorrect about his lawsuit.
Correct.
She can still get his ass in California if she wants to.
She can.
So,
Or
just to
where-
clarify, we're talking about two different...
Did he designate the state of California as the place to go get it?
It is a California law. So if she's trying to pursue treble damages under this California law, she would do it in California.
I hope she does. Come on.
Well, the law's really clear. I mean, she prevailed at getting his case thrown out as a frivolous retaliatory lawsuit.
Maybe
and
she'll
so
wait.
she's entitled. Like, the way that the law is written is that it's automatic. Like, you just have to ask for this and it's yours. You claim it.
Maybe she'll wait until after the wedding.
But it was because it was a federal judge, apparently, that he had his hands tied with this other federal civil procedure rules.
Maybe she's just waiting until the end of the wedding, till the wedding's over.
Maybe.
I saw Andy Reid getting fitted for a tux.
You didn't.
Yeah.
Like, in your mind?
No,
Like, clairvoyantly?
There's photos.
Are you serious?
You know what's funny about that?
Andy Reid is going to go to his wedding?
He was just...
I don't know why I'm surprised by that. Of course he would.
What's funny about that is he was just asked during a press conference for the training camp they have going on in Kansas City if Travis has been distracted by all the wedding hoopla and so on and so forth. And he was like, no, there's no distraction. It's, business as usual during our camp. And of course, what's he going to say, right? Yes, he can't. He just sits
Travis
there.
Kelce is not planning a wedding when his wife is like a multi-millionaire.
Multi-millionaire. She's a billionaire.
Sorry, when his wife is a billionaire and has like she's probably getting all of that all those services comped anyway,
Yeah. So
because who doesn't want to have that on their resume that they did
so
Taylor Swift's wedding?
It's just kind of funny that he was like being asked about whether or not Travis is being distracted, and there he is getting fitted for a tux. I'm like, is that on company time, buddy?
Is Andy Reid getting distracted?
I don't think you're working on the place right now, big guy. I think you're probably distracted.
You need to get your head in the game, Reid.
Okay, so no Super Bowl this year is what you're saying.
Coach Reid.
Friedman gave the settlement with MK. Who's MK? I think this is in response to Lively trying to circulate an appeal concept last Friday. It's fair game to disclose.
Who are you reading? What
This
are you
is Cybersonic.
Okay.
I don't know what you're talking about. I followed this case quite a bit. I don't know what you're talking about, really. Maybe I'm just disinterested in it these days. It is what it is. I feel like ultimately this case to me, I felt, I don't mind that we covered it, of course, but I just feel
It was a bit like
I feel like cheated out of the out of an outcome.
it reminds me of when Deadwood got canceled.
Yeah, yeah, it was such a good show. Why are you canceling it? It's not that this was a good show, but I thought like she had a great case going in, and I know that after it was ruled that her SH couldn't stand in a federal court, we all knew that was a problem. I thought there was something more foundationally strong with her going in on the retaliation alone, because retaliation was brutal and obvious. But I think that it just got crippled too much. But whatever, it is what it is. Sucks. Absolutely sucks. I got two mices.
Speaking of bad guys winning,
Yeah.
do you want to talk about how Donald Trump managed to reach 80 years old with his diet? with his diet and lifestyle.
Hey man, my Uncle Kenny,
Your Uncle Kenny.
who is
Kenny is such an uncle name.
He
I
is a
feel
great
like
guy.
there's nobody on the planet who's ever been named Kenny who wasn't an Uncle Kenny.
he's a great guy. I miss him. You know, I never got to spend as much time as I would have loved to. One of my favorite uncles. I had a lot of uncles. I had like 20 uncles. You know,
That's a lot.
thereabouts. Yeah. Well, yeah, it was like about 20. It's a lot of uncles.
It's like like a rural family, like farm family.
Yeah, it was a far family. My grandmother had 14 kids.
Oh my God.
12
Unbelievable.
survived. 11 married. So I had 22 uncles,
That's crazy.
22 aunts, and 40
That's a
some
whole
odd
town.
cousins. It was like a town. My Uncle Kenny, though, where was I going with that? What were we talking about?
You're talking about reaching 80 years old with
My
a
Uncle
bet.
Kenny, every day a Big Mac. Every day for I'm talking decades and decades. Every day a Big Mac. Every day a Big Mac. He was a mechanic.
Uh-huh.
Every day a Big Mac. Every day. And I mean, devout, every fucking 7 days a week, one Big Mac every single fucking day. His doctor, like, you're killing yourself, Kenny. You're killing yourself. And he's like, I don't give a fuck. I eat Big Macs every day. Did not give a fuck. Said, I'm going to die when I die, but I will die right after a Big Mac or right before one. Whatever happens, whenever it happens.
That's fucking weird.
And the man died at nearly 80 years old, which is still below the average in Canada. But
Don't we recognize that now as like a characteristic of autism?
he had himself
Wait,
one of
like, he
them
wanted
Big Mac
to-
bellies too.
He wanted to eat the same food every single day,
Yeah.
and he wouldn't interrupt that pattern.
He just loved them. he loved two things more than anything, including his wife: Big Macs and Marilyn Monroe. Those are the two things.
Bless him.
Dude, he loved Marilyn.
Salt of the earth.
He loved Marilyn Monroe so much that when he came to visit me in Hollywood, we went to Hollywood Boulevard, because he wanted to, do the souvenir shops, looking for Marilyn Monroe. And so we walk into one, and there's a life-size Marilyn Monroe, and he's like, "How do I get it on the plane? How do I get it on the plane?" And it became this dilemma that we spent tens of minutes trying to figure out how to get it on the
You're
plane.
gonna have to get a cardboard cutout, and it folds.
He's like, "It
so
won't go in the overhead." Like, he's just playing it out. Put some wood behind it. What do I do? How do I get it on the plane? So he ended up bending it once. And he got it home, and he assembled his life-sized Marilyn Monroe cutout in his basement,
Oh,
probably next to an empty Big Mac container. We took him to see Marilyn Monroe's grave. I think it's I can't remember where it is.
is
If
it at
it's-
Hollywood Forever?
It might be at Hollywood Forever. I can't remember which.
Hollywood
cemetery it is.
Forever is dope. I love that place. I went to a funeral of like a regular person.
Douglas Fairbanks. I can't. I've never been able to get his grave out of my mind. Douglas Fairbanks,
Why?
because it's the big it's that big eye, like that big long.
It's like a mausoleum.
It's like this big long cement pond with It's just so extravagant. It's
That's
unbelievable.
I went to a funeral of a regular person at Hollywood Forever, and I couldn't believe that they had like normal, regular, not celebrity people buried there.
Yeah.
Like you could just buy a plot at Hollywood Forever and and be buried next to fucking Bob Hope
Or Douglas Fairbanks.
or Douglas Fairbanks.
Cecil B. DeMille is there.
Yeah.
These are names that most people don't even know what I'm talking about. But do you know who Douglas Fairbanks is?
I think the whole cast of Some Like It Hot is there.
That might be true. They're all gone.
It's a big reunion.
Where
Anyway,
are we
so he went to Marilyn Monroe's grave.
He went to Marilyn Monroe's grave. And before he went, or maybe he was there. I can't remember where it was, but I asked him, I was like, we were at Marilyn Monroe's grave, I think it was. And he finally saw it. And it's like, it's one of those placards on the wall or whatever. And I guess she's in a drawer there or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, so what do you want to do now? He's like, what do you mean, what do I want to do? I want to jump her bones. The worst dad joke ever.
Classic Uncle Kenny.
Just dropped an Uncle Kenny joke on the spot. I loved it, though. It was like a fully memorable joke.
That's really funny.
Oh, bless your heart, Uncle Kenny.
So the worst person in the world is 80.
Donald Trump lived till 80, eating Big Macs, and
And my question
it's
is,
super frustrating.
when will it end?
Yeah.
When is it going to end?
Oh.
I think I have predictions, but you never know with this guy. I thought that it was the last eclipse was going to do it for him, because the astrology on his chart was really gnarly, but he ended up starting a war instead. And so this time, like
Dude.
the beginning of next month looks really harrowing for him.
Yeah.
And I don't know, maybe he's gonna fucking pull off some bullshit and continue to survive. I don't fucking know
Dude,
what this guy anymore.
First of all, this UFC thing. Oh my God. I mean, I can't like the one benefit of that's going on that I recognize is that it just seems like every week he looks more and more ridiculous and horrible and historically the worst thing that's ever happened to this country, and perhaps since global politics has been a thing.
Yeah.
Probably in the history of global politics, he's the worst thing that's ever happened. I guess second only to Hitler, because I guess that was probably global politics at that time. So, yeah, second really only to Hitler and that era, which would be you got Stalin and all those guys are in there, right? Wasn't Stalin around with Hitler when they hanging out? Yeah, I'd smoke a cigar when they homeboys. Anyway, Sean Strickland, do you know who that is?
Yes, so he's a UFC fighter
And
who
this-
has a big fucking mouth,
Big
and he's
fucking mouth.
constantly getting in trouble. And like Dana White, who runs the UFC, he's a piece of shit. But he at one point he scolded the press because he was like, "Listen, you guys keep asking him dumb fucking questions, and he's gonna give you these fucking like super bigoted answers, and then I'm gonna get in trouble for having a fucking fighter that says bigoted shit. But quit asking him."
Yeah, all he has to do is discipline them. You know what I mean?
Yes.
He just has to have a conduct unbecoming clause in when you're representing the UFC. It's the difference between it's interesting because the NFL has been long criticized, and rightly so, by the extent that they take to protect what they call the shield, which is the NFL shield, right? And they're like, we protect that, we protect its dignity, its honor, like all that, like everything is. So when something goes wrong with a player, there's an immediate separation because the league takes position and they take it forcefully, right?
Right.
So they do things like fine, suspend, banish, and so on, right? And this is not just the NFL. This happens in Major League Baseball. Pete Rose was banned until very recently. Donald Trump, I think, played a role in getting him sort of reinstated. But, the greatest hitter of all time, in all of baseball, a guy called Pete Rose, he bet on baseball back when you couldn't bet on baseball, and he got banned from the sport. So these shields, or these sports typically defend their shields or they protect them, and the UFC just doesn't. The UFC lets these people run amok doing horrible things.
Well, here's the thing, too.
And Sean Strickland, just to round it out, Sean Strickland, this guy has said some of the most despicable things. Like, they have a history, does the UFC, of fighters saying straight up racist shit.
Oh yeah,
in the center of a ring where a pay-per-view occurred and people dropped up to $100 to watch the fucking movie or the fight in their house.
He Sean Strickland also he apparently is very anti-gay. He uses the F slur like openly, like no big deal.
So you know what he craves.
And he was saying that he thinks women's sports is stupid, and like he said that that any like weak ass like fighter could beat Amanda Nunes, and Amanda Nunes like commented, and she's like, "Why are you crying? Like, why are you complaining about me?" She's
Great
like,
answer.
"I'm the fucking winningest woman in this sport. Like, what do you gotta? Why are you bothered?" She was basically like, "I'm rent free in your head, and I'm the one with the problem."
It's such a stupid thing to say because you don't watch fights because you think that like every male heavyweight can pound the fuck out of any
Yeah, of course.
like bantamweight. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
Don't be stupid.
I know,
dude.
But I
Size
also just-
matters. Male, female doesn't matter.
I also just love the sports psychology of like, oh, they're saying mean things about them. I must have gotten in their head. Like, that's a weakness on their part for saying mean things about me because I'm over here chilling
Yeah, I
and
love
just
that.
working on winning my
And
next
Donald
fight.
Trump is the strongest guy that ever lived.
But
So-
Sean Strickland, because he's such like he's such a nutcase, he it's no surprise that he went and did nutcase stuff. So apparently he like snuck in to the UFC
Yeah.
event in the White House.
Yeah.
And when I heard that, I was like,
Dude,
oh my God, was he going to go do it?
There's a photo.
Was Sean Strickland going to be the one to do it?
Shit. There's a
Was that
photo
what
of
he was
him
doing?
being carried out by the cops. And he has a
shirt.
it's a Trump is in the Epstein files.
Yeah, see, this is what I mean. Is like, was he like planning? Because he's nuts.
He was pro-Trump for, that early, like, Dana has.
I don't know.
Dana
that
White,
Sean
who
Strickland
runs the
ever
UFC,
was.
has
I
been
think Sean Strickland was anti everybody. I think he was like fuck politics.
No, that's not my memory, but maybe yours is better. But Dana White has been licking the boots of Donald Trump since the first run. He's disgusting. Dana White is one of the most disgusting figures in sports in history. I mean, you'd have to go back to when racism was still super prevalent and prominent in sports and accepted, pre-Jackie Robinson, before you'll find somebody as despicable as Dana White is. He's a horrible fucking human being. Anyway, so Sean Strickland, so I don't know what I was going to say. No, you actually threw me off on that one when you did that. I was like, oh, what?
I just didn't want to hear you rant about Dana White. Everybody knows he's a piece of shit.
Well, maybe I wasn't doing it for your pleasure.
Somebody posted a picture on Twitter of the octagon, like inside the octagon with like the branded, the padded like cage, with like Bud Light on it.
Yeah.
And then the White House behind it. And they were like, the European mind can't comprehend this. And this guy is so funny. Jamie Walters, whatever, on Twitter, he said, oh, no, the European mind understands it perfectly well.
Yeah, they do. You kidding me?
This is what imperial decadence looks like. Public institutions converted into branded spectacle.
Yeah.
Civic memory replaced by adrenaline theater. And the People's House turned into a content backdrop for regime propaganda.
Yeah.
The joke is not that Europe cannot comprehend it. The joke is that America no longer recognizes what it's becoming. But Europeans are like, no, we've done this a few times. Right before the revolutions.
Yeah. Of course.
We know exactly what this is.
Dude, it's like
you guys are getting bread and circuses, but at least in Rome, the bread and circuses was free. You guys are being charged like fucking $500 entrance
yeah, first come
fees.
first serve, but it was free and keep the people happy. And
exactly.
Guava says the UFC was such a fun sport, but it became a hotbed for stupid right wing chuds. Well, we used to watch it. Like, I mean, I watched it. I think UFC isn't the UFC?
You cut it from your book.
Oh.
But you guys, was it Jay Ferguson's house?
Jay Ferguson he would host the UFCs. They weren't like every month like they are now. It was like they were like fucking months and months apart or whatever.
I was in high school or junior high when the first UFCs came out, and I was obsessed. Like, I was renting the videos from like VHS videos from the video store, and like I've been watching the UFC ever since. And as soon as they started trotting Donald Trump out, I was like, oh, I'm out.
Yeah, for me it broke when
That
we were watching the pay-per-view with John Jones, which John Jones was already a disaster. But in that John Jones' last fight, I think it is, Dana White, who vehemently denied that this fucking White House lawn UFC fight had nothing to do with politics. He, for a pay-per-view, played a straight up campaign ad for Donald Trump on the Jumbotron.
On a pay-per-view that we were all paying for.
On a pay-per-view that we all paid for, and that the audience paid an enormous fucking amount of money to get in. Imagine we're paying $100 to watch it from home. And
it was like a long segment too. I was like, what the
It was a huge segment.
So that was the last time.
So he's a piece of shit liar.
So they lost a bunch of customers, and then they stopped doing pay-per-view entirely. And
we literally stopped watching altogether, you and me. I
think they had to change their whole business model, because then they started just doing streaming on Paramount Plus.
The numbers fell to the earth, man.
Anyway, my favorite take.
Pay-per-view numbers.
I've been collecting a bunch of these over the weekend, but my favorite take on Twitter was somebody posted a picture of apparently before the fights they had like motocross on the White House lawn.
Yes. It was a circus.
So it's so funny. This person said, this image looks exactly like a Disney movie where a 12-year-old becomes president.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what it is. Like, Donald Trump is turning 80. He has
like
achieved the greatness of greatness
Yeah.
in his lifetime. And instead of being like a dignified elder,
Yeah.
right? Like any of the other older presidents that we've ever had were, where they were like a paragon of intelligence. You know, they knew how to assemble the very best minds around them to address global issues. You know, this guy for his 80th birthday decides to build like a little fucking racetrack and like hang out with his fucking dorky fucking gym bro
This
friends.
is a year after he had a fucking
just crazy.
military parade that he fell asleep at. He fell asleep at the UFC fights, according to some photographs.
Yes, well, that's not a fucking surprise because he's got dementia and he's sundowning. But like, I just can't believe that. It is kind of like, it's kind of delightful that like this person who has achieved all these things,
Yeah.
and he has become a scourge on the entire globe,
On humanity.
right? That he is so thin in his intellect that this is all that he can muster to celebrate and entertain for the 250th. Like, he's so small-minded. He's so narrow. Do you think that he's ever had like a favorite like poem? You know what I mean? Like, this person
Roses are red.
this
Violets are blue. I'm Donald Trump. I'm so cool. Janet says, love Big Macs. Me and Uncle Kenny are soul sisters. Dude, Uncle Kenny, bro, he bit down on them suckers. How many Big Macs do you think you had in your life?
like maybe 3,
3 Big Macs.
maybe.
I'm going to go conservative estimate. I'm going to say 200.
That's the number of how many times I've been to In-N-Out Burger and got an In-N-Out Burger.
Yeah, look,
That's
that's
like-
my
that's gotta
lifetime
be-
on Big Macs. I spent 10 years around. I spent about 15 years around In-N-Out. Easily 200 on In-N-Out.
Yeah, right.
Easily.
But like Big Macs, they're not delicious. You know what I used to get?
They used to be.
What I used to get at McDonald's were like the little cheapo burgers. They're like little and they're skinny and you squish them.
Yeah. Well,
They're just like mustard cheeseburgers. That's
yeah.
it.
I used to get.
They're delicious.
When I was a vegetarian, I used to get those. It's just basically grilled cheese. I used to say, "Give me the 2 cheeseburger meal with no patties," and they were like, "Say what?" I'd be like, I need the cheeseburgers but no meat. Am I getting this right?
Am I gonna get in trouble if I give that to you?
I don't want to get this wrong. Am I getting this right? You're saying you want cheeseburgers with no burgers.
You're trying to get me in trouble.
They were great though because I love their pickles.
Yeah.
I think McDonald's pickles are just some of the tastiest pickles I've ever had. There's just something about those pickles that I just loved. I worked at McDonald's. It was my first job, my first real job.
See, now we're getting to the bottom of how you had 200 Big Macs.
Yeah, I ate crew
That
meals
was your shift meal.
Yeah, and but I lost. I got fired. Well, they said they were letting me go, but they were firing me. I came in hungover and I spilled.
I'm sorry, I don't understand. You said they said they were letting you go.
Yeah.
But you said
'Cause
that they were firing. That's the same thing.
I have a complex. This is what I'm saying. I had a complex. What happened was, so I get to work. I'm hungover. I'm doing breakfast, and I'm on the griddle, and I'm doing pancakes. So I go and I bring this big pail of pancake batter.
Yeah.
And I'm just hungover as fuck.
I know what's gonna
I
happen.
stink like booze. I spill the batter. We're talking. I don't know how many gallons. I don't know whatever. 50 gallons, 40 gallons. I don't know. 30 gallons. Just so many gallons.
A bucket is not 40 gallons. A bucket is
20
probably
gallons.
5 gallons.
5 gallons.
5 gallons of batter is still a lot of fucking
It was so
batter.
many gallons of and it just under the griddle, and it was a nightmare.
the
So I'm
worst.
trying to scoop it up, and everyone, and it's a mess, and I'm not doing well. So then they my shift manager comes out, and they're like, "Yo, just get the fuck out of the kitchen. Go and do the lobby. You're on the lobby. I hate the lobby." I'm like, "I'm a chef." So they put me on the lobby. I don't know, whatever. I'm 14 years old or something. So I got on the lobby, and I'm fucking, okay, fine. I'm in the lobby, right? So I'm, doing the tables and changing the trash and all this stuff. And then the fucking boss comes out toward the end of my shift. I've been in the lobby the entire shift. And the boss says, "You're getting your evaluation today." I'm like, "Oh, you gotta be fucking kidding me."
After the day I had.
The day I had.
You're 14.
He's like, "You gotta come to my office. We're doing your evaluation today." And I was like, "You've been trying to get rid of me. You found the spot.
Yeah.
I gave you the spot, and now you're gonna try to get rid of me." So I'm like, so just as I do, A new guy comes into the lobby in the shift change, and I'm literally walking to the back for my review. He opens up the trash cans, and I forgot to put liners in all of them. So he opens up the trash can, and it's just filled with loose trash that all just fell into the lobby.
And he turns
And my
around.
manager looks back, and there's this trash falling out of it. And I was like, oh, because there was like a reaction.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, oh, I forgot to put liners in.
So bad.
So they pull me to the back. They sit me down. And then he says, well, we did this like quick little evaluation. He's like, okay, looking over his sheet. And then he says, Dale, we're letting you go. And I said, you're not letting me go. You're firing me. And they said, no, Dale. No, we're letting you go.
It's the same thing.
There's no difference.
Yeah.
And then he said, the difference is, as of right now, we will give you a recommendation as of this moment. And
I was like, don't make this difficult.
oh, okay. So you're letting me go. I got it. I can still go out there in the real world and get a job. And my boss will be like, yeah, he did work here.
What was your next job after that?
I don't remember.
You don't remember your jobs?
Oh, yeah. I know what my next job was. Mohawk Oil, midnight shift.
Oh, that's when you got...
I got arrested. I got robbed. It was years later, though, because I was like 14 or 15 when I did that job.
This is a really great story. Number one, because you survived from being held up at gunpoint. But number two, they thought that you were... the
robber.
The person who was robbing you. You're like 15 and you're like...
No, I was 18.
You're like, oh, you're 18 and you're like a metalhead and you're working at a gas station at midnight and he asks you for the code to the safe and you're like...
I literally had hair down past my... Like, I was a straight up Judas Priest freak. And the guy puts the gun to my head.
Oh, God.
And he says, combination for the safe. And I said, look at me. I just shouted at him. I was like, because I thought I was going to die. Yeah. I was like, look at me. They are not going to give me the combination to the safe.
It's so funny because it's so...
Look at me, please.
It makes sense. Because it makes so much sense.
They're going to give me the combination? I said, I'm going to be here. I'm going to be here.
I'm like a fucking dirtbag teenager working the midnight shift. You think they're going to give me the fucking safe code?
He took me to the bathroom and he put me on the floor, told me to lay on the floor. And I literally hugged the bowl. I fucking hyperventilated. Oh, I was a mess. Thought he was going to kill me, bro. He just took the money. And then and it's so funny because I say, look at me, you know? So the police come, everything. 3 days later, I find out through another worker, the boss thinks you did it. What? You know, it was the most ridiculous thing. It was all because I was a fucking metalhead.
Yeah.
It was like I listen to heavy metal, so I set up this robbery because it was right at shift change. But that's what they do. They go and they fucking, they observe.
Yeah.
And then they come in and so there was like $800 from the previous shift or $900 in cash just sitting there on the fucking desk getting counted when he came in. So he got loads of money, compared to just walking in and
it's
emptying
like
the
the
register.
most traumatic experience of your life, but I find it so entertaining that you had to talk some sense into this guy. I'm not the one they would trust with the fucking code.
For real, dude. I was just straight up like, I'm trouble. I'm smoking weed on the job. I'm Spicoli, bro. They're not going to give me the
Totally.
but I'm Spicoli with electric guitar. Donald Trump, man. The guy, he still lives. That's a fact.
Yeah.
Not great news for anybody. Only want him to, I just want him to take that nice, easy road, just transition, buddy. Go see the truth, man. Go live in the truth for 1 second.
Go to that big fucking golden skyscraper in the sky, man. Just go up to that fucking final penthouse. They're waiting for you.
So a fighter said that Michelle Obama was a man or something, and Dana White tried to pretend that he cared. It's so funny because it goes back to the protection of the shield, but Dana White could have very easily just find that guy. Find him. He was a winner. Find him.
Yeah.
Why is there no clause for conduct unbecoming?
Yeah, create a code of ethics, right?
Right.
A fucking, to maintain the integrity of the sport. I mean, here's the thing too, as I was saying earlier, is I used to train jiu-jitsu, and at the school that I went to, there was there was an MMA program. And a lot of these people are like really fucking serious athletes, and they really, really want to climb and compete and do
Yeah.
really well. And like a lot of them have been doing it since they were kids. It's just like Olympians, you know? In fact, a lot of MMA athletes are Olympians. Like Daniel Cormier is an Olympian.
Sure.
Ronda Rousey's an Olympian.
Yeah.
Whatever. So it's like, it just sucks that the UFC of all places is the biggest promotion. So a lot of these people, like the highest heights they can reach is with this fucking dog shit organization.
Yeah.
Where they're completely exploited, underpaid, and they have to deal with these fucking racist fuckheads, like, you know, taking up all the airspace. It's just really lame. So hopefully there's some other promotions that are going to get like, you know, more publicity and more popular, because the UFC is like long overdue for a fall, you know? Would you say there was like there's a fighters league? What's it called?
PFL.
PFL, Professional Fighters League. I heard
It's
that
on ESPN now.
I heard that they pay their fighters better. They need
I'd
to
watch it,
fucking,
but I'm not going to subscribe to ESPN to do it.
yeah, there's that.
I'm sick of these guys doing their money. Basic cable, like just the first package in cable, is $1,000 a year. It's $1,000 a year for basic cable. It's just madness. $1,000.
For you to just like use the remote, be like, no,
Yeah,
no,
to be lost in a quagmire of fucking nothing. Speaking of Donald Trump, Ian McKellen says that he imagined destroying Mar-a-Lago for Avengers Doomsday. He said, the Russos told me to look more furious. Make it look as if you hate what you're destroying. So I stood there and I shouted, Mar-a-Lago! That's hilarious, dude.
I now understand what they mean by like too woke, because that sounds dumb.
Why?
I'm sorry, but
Why? He's destroying stuff.
not like
He
Epstein's
was probably
Island.
being more funny than he was anything else.
Yeah, right.
It's
Ian McKellen, he is a Charmosaurus. This is true.
Yeah. It's not, it's fun. You all right? What was that reaction? You want to talk about
I
it?
think he was just trying to get a laugh out of everybody on the set by shouting Mar-a-Lago in his Ian McKellen voice.
I think that's hilarious.
Yeah.
It's just him being funny.
Yes, of
Obviously,
course.
he's telling the story to be funny. And I'm sure everyone on the set laughed right after he was finished. I don't think that he was actually using that for his method. I'm very excited that Blake Lively can still seek damages only if she seeks damages. If she does not seek the damages, I will be very, very sad.
Yeah, they deserve to pay the fucking treble damages, bro. They filed this fucking lawsuit with lawyers after that law was official.
Yeah.
So, you know, fucking pay up.
Pay the fuck up.
Like at least their lawyers should have known what the latest laws are. I mean, I'm sorry, do like lawyers not get fucking like do lawyers that work in civil litigation not get like newsletters about the latest law that might affect their practice? I don't know. Like it's so weird that Brian Friedman filed this lawsuit and then they were like, "Oh, I guess you guys didn't hear about this new law." You know? Like why didn't he hear about it? He's a California lawyer. Super weird.
Super weird. What else have I got? Do I got anything else here? Let me see.
I have an interesting nature story.
Oh, you do you?
Yes.
Some of the best social media responses to Judge Lyman's 47-1 decision. You want to hear that?
I'm skeptical about whether they'll be the best or they'll just be like Baldoni bots.
This one says, I bet when that loser decided to employ the Johnny Depp playbook of destroying a woman's reputation and credibility, he never anticipated it would cost him being able to afford sending his kids to college. And I always think about like people like not firmly in reality when they do these things. Like, you really think Justin Baldoni is spending any money on this at all? He's not spending a dime of his own money.
Of course.
This is all, and if it's not paid by insurance, it's paid by the insurance called Billionaire. This other one, like
The billionaire cannot spend his money. Like that's literally
Yeah.
like he has
he has these projects that dump $100 million, $150 million in
and
them
it's fucking pennies to him because he's a billionaire.
because his money compounds.
Yeah, there's no fucking risk
So
whatsoever.
this other person wrote, let's recap. Justin Baldoni had his entire lawsuit dismissed and thrown out. He wasted $30 million for nothing, which isn't true because he got sued. He had to have attorneys representing him. So it's just like, I just want everybody to have their feet firmly on the ground. And these people supporting Lively don't always. He agreed to settle Blake's suit instead of going to trial. That's so ridiculous. She's the one who agreed to the settlement ultimately. She may have offered it, but he's going to take it, or they'll negotiate back and forth something that, he didn't like or whatever. But
yeah, but he's not going to be like, no, I want to stay a defendant.
it was Blake Lively who initiated the settlement. It was her fucking lawsuit. So it drives me crazy because it's not, they're switching it to him and it's not him. He had to move to Nashville. He didn't have to move to Nashville. He did move to, let me tell you about moving to Nashville. First of all, he's with his people. Secondly, there's no personal income tax in Nashville.
Yeah, the property taxes are low too.
And property taxes are low. This guy moved out of a situation that was costing him more money than it was worth. And he did, he had to, he folded up camp, but he bought a mansion. Like you're trying to paint this guy as running away, downtrodden and beaten. And meantime, he's doubling up in fucking net space and
He's living in a 7,000 square foot mansion. That's not, he ran away.
He remains jobless and ugly because he's self-employed. And he's not jobless. He is not cashless. And yes, I probably think that.
Why are you arguing with these people?
And now he has to pay her legal fees. Well, it's just because these people are slightly delusional. Broke and no career. I know the TikTok ladies who were fighting for his life are mad as hell. Well, that's funny. I like that one. That jaw implant about to get repossessed.
His jaw implant?
I don't know if that's true. But everybody, if you got one. God, people do that shit. But the white woman on TikTok told me Blake lost. She did. Fuck you, Justin Baldoni Friday. Thanks. Whatever. It drives me crazy because I wish that everybody's feet were firmly on the ground. When I was reading those, I was just getting frustrated because I was like, you guys sound like Baldoni fans.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean?
Speaking of feet firmly on the ground, there's this news that 500 million subscribers apparently for Mr. Beast.
Oh. And
somebody was like, this is crazy to think how many of these are bots because there's simply no possible way that 1/16 of the entire world's population is subscribed to Mr. Beast. Like, this has got to be the dead internet theory.
Are you?
No. Are you?
I've never seen a video of his ever.
Yeah.
The most I've ever seen of Mr. Beast was on this last season of Survivor.
Mr. Beast has become the first person in history whatever, it's YouTube, to surpass 500 million YouTube subscribers.
What, YouTube is 20 years old?
Yeah.
In history.
In all of human history.
It was the very first season of Hell's Kitchen.
Oh, yeah, I know.
For the first time in Hell's Kitchen history. It's but it's episode 6.
I know. They were doing that from the start. I thought it was really clever.
It's hilarious.
You got to always be selling that it's bigger than it is.
Yeah, I mean, it's like the Hall of Fame for the UFC.
Mr. Beast getting 500 million YouTube subs and Elon Musk becoming a trillionaire on the same day feels like a global humiliation ritual.
Yeah.
That's on Twitter, lit unorthodox.
I think that Elon Musk became a trillionaire. It shows how shallow and horrible his life is. That his goal, that was his goal, right? That was all his goal. SpaceX doesn't even make any money. All it does is lose money. All they're doing by going pre-IPO on that, and apparently they even stretched the rules and let it on NASDAQ when it wasn't qualified for NASDAQ. So they're just putting investors at risk because this thing is going to lose money before it'll ever make money.
You don't understand. It is not a coincidence that mere months after Elon Musk himself was able to have access to the entire financial structure of the United States of America, that he becomes a trillionaire. It's not a fucking coincidence.
Well, I mean, it's through the IPO, you understand, right? So,
yes, I know. But there's a whole lot that had to happen to keep him from being investigated and fined and charged with literal crimes that he went and fixed so that he could make space for all of this continuing.
Well, this is a serious looting of American taxpayer money, this whole IPO bullshit, because most of the shit that he's doing is subsidized by the U.S. government.
Yeah.
As usual. He doesn't even make any money. Like like SpaceX makes no money. It is an absolute money sink, and it's going on like it's like it broke records on its initial public offering. It's like this big massive thing. He had to sell 5% of it at this extraordinary price. I mean, it is the biggest shit show. It's the same thing like when he ended up like basically strong arming Tesla stockholders to give him $50 billion after he fucked up and overpaid for Twitter, only to ruin it.
A bunch of people on Twitter were highlighting the fact that he's a mass murderer, which I thought was...
I know he's murdered at least one person.
It's the person who's in the Tesla that is now jettisoned into outer space.
Yes.
There is a body in that car, and I don't know why everybody was fucking normal about it.
Literally, he didn't even have a bad reputation.
We just assumed it was a mannequin when we're talking about Elon fucking Musk.
Like, I didn't know.
No, that's an actual dead body in that car.
I didn't even know of his reputation. Like, I didn't really know who Elon Musk was when that happened, because that got so much news. They were like, Elon Musk. And as soon as I saw it, I was like, there's a body in there, dude.
Has anybody looked inside the fucking helmet?
That is like the most perfect fucking crime cover-up.
A corpse.
It's obviously a corpse in a spacesuit, dude.
Anyway, this person said, the legacy of the world's first trillionaire isn't wealth, it's mass murder. It is very important. This is Dr. Emil P. Torres on Twitter said, it's very important to keep this in the foreground. Elon Musk is a mass murderer. He's killed more people than some of the worst dictators in history.
So explain, because I don't know how.
Adam Gaffney said, by conservative estimates, Elon Musk probably killed hundreds of thousands by taking a chainsaw to global health programs. And they have done studies that literally will equate to 14 million people dying. He is not a visionary. He's a dimwit and a monster.
Well, that can be fixed, though. So there might, so that...
Okay, by who? Because in the meantime...
By the next administration, obviously.
It's going to be 14 million people dead.
Well, I don't think they're all going to die like straight away, are they?
Maybe the 14 million isn't the right. This Nathan Robb says, instead of discussing how Elon Musk is now the world's first trillionaire, we should talk about how he killed hundreds of thousands of people through his dismantling of food and medical aid to poor countries. And there's a link. currentaffairs.org.
God, what a fucking
it's just super
weird
obscene.
Timeline, man.
I know. I fucking hate it. The guy that runs the account on Twitter of God, his ad is the tweet of God. He says, you can be repulsed by the general idea that there's a trillionaire while also being repulsed by the specific idea that is Elon Musk.
Yeah. They are separate. They are mutually exclusive.
Yeah, man.
Aren't mutually exclusive.
Bad news.
Yeah. Well, I saw this picture where he was obviously photoshopped because he looked so bad. He looked like a pale. I couldn't.
Was that the one when he's on the boat? That's not photoshopped.
Really? That's real?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Why would you take your shirt off? I'm like half that out of shape, and I don't want to take my shirt off around you. I was ripped when we met.
I didn't know that you don't want to take your shirt off around me. That's so sad.
You haven't noticed that I never take my shirt off around you?
So every time I'm like, hey, Dale, show me your tits. That makes you sad?
Yeah, I do it reluctantly. I'm like, okay. And then I jiggle them.
Yeah. You twirl the pasties just like I like.
Yeah. Twirling the pasties.
I wanted to find this nature story that I saved.
While you do, a single dose of psilocybin paired with psychological support provides months of relief from chronic suicide thoughts in a new study.
Oh my God.
Psychedelic assisted therapy.
Put it in the water.
Tends to offer lasting relief for individuals who have not responded to standard psychiatric treatments. What's funny you should say is like, why do they have to go through standard first? Why can't this be standard? A recent study published in the Journal of Clinical Psychiatry suggests that a single dose of psilocybin paired with psychological support may rapidly and safely reduce chronic suicidal thoughts in adults with severe depression. The findings provide evidence that psychedelic-assisted therapy tends to offer lasting relief for individuals who have not yet responded to any standard psychiatric treatments. So, chronic suicidal ideation presents a severe challenge in psychiatric care. It persists even when patients undergo intensive trials of standard therapies or medications. It's the wildest thing to shake, I'll tell you that. Traditional interventions such as standard antidepressant medications and cognitive behavioral therapy tend to be effective for many individuals, but typically require prolonged treatment periods. They may not provide immediate relief during acute phases of suicidal distress, which is really crazy when you think about it, because you're sitting there and you're in therapy and then all of a sudden it just didn't come in time. Absolutely crazy. I'm not going to read this whole article because there's not like much to read. Psilocybin is proving itself over and over again, one study after another.
It's like when they repeatedly share the findings of a new study on universal basic income.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, guys, so it was just like how we thought. It does work. Anyway,
I wonder
we'll
how
see you
fast
next
it took,
time.
I wonder how fast it took them to get Viagra on the market.
Yeah, I know.
You know?
But
Like-
every study about psilocybin, they're like, yeah, just like we thought, guys. We had to check to be sure, but it's like amazing and it will cure you of everything. Just put it in the water already. Give us our mushrooms and our UBI. Be done with it. Shit works. We don't need any more fucking studies.
4-day work weeks.
I want to share you. God,
Jeez. Do you want to talk about that privately?
maybe I shouldn't because I'm losing steam. Anyway, listen. I want to tell you about a nature study that happened.
Okay.
This one's a roller coaster. Okay.
I like roller.
You ready to talk about cranes?
Yeah.
Are you sure you're sitting down?
Why are you saying it like that?
I just want to talk about cranes sometimes. Between 1975 and 1988, biologists decided to do a little cuckoo bird. You know the cuckoo bird?
Yeah.
So cuckoo birds don't raise their young. They actually will just lay eggs in other birds' nests and sort of hope that the other birds will parent the cuckoo bird.
Fucking deadbeats.
And so what happens is the little cuckoo bird chick will hatch and then push the other babies out of the nest.
Oh, wow.
It's really fucking gruesome and horrible.
Murder.
But the birds apparently are like fine with it. And so they'll just raise these cuckoo birds.
They're like,
Parasitic cuckoo birds.
doesn't look like you either.
I want a DNA test. We don't know what that is. We're birds. Anyway, so scientists decided to cuckoo bird for whooping cranes. Whooping, is that how you say it? Whooping?
Yeah, I believe so.
Whooping cranes.
Could do
They
it that way
put
too.
whooping cranes' eggs into sandhill crane nests in Idaho, hoping that the sandhill cranes will just raise these whooping cranes and everything will be fine. They said that sandhill cranes were the obvious choice to try and bring this whooping crane population back from like near devastation, okay? Because they're the whooping crane's closest living relative. They nest in similar habitats. They migrate on the similar routes. They incubate eggs for the same duration. A sandhill crane sitting on a whooping crane egg does not know the difference. The egg's the right size, the right shape. It hatches the right schedule. Everything's cool, right? And it fucking worked. So these sandhill cranes and these whooping cranes were raised and were growing alongside each other, and everything was fine. And they even migrated. So they migrate from Buffalo National Park in Canada all the way down to the Texas Gulf Coast.
Do they pay tariffs?
No, they don't pay tariffs.
So fuck
the
those birds.
biologist didn't write about that. However, what happened was this totally succeeded. The hatchlings worked 73% of the cross-fostered eggs hatched successfully. The rearing worked. Sandhill parents fed, protected, and taught the whooping crane chicks alongside their own young. The migration worked. The whooping cranes followed their foster parents from Idaho to New Mexico and back, learning the route, the sleepover sites, and the timing. Everything was fine. And then when the whooping cranes grew up, they refused to mate. Because whooping cranes are like 5 feet tall. No, not that tall. Whatever.
Tall.
Sorry.
2 feet tall.
They identified
17 feet
the
tall.
problem was that the whooping cranes identified as sandhill cranes. Whooping cranes are 5 foot tall white birds with a 7 foot wingspan. And they stood in their marsh surrounded by other 5 foot tall white birds with 7 foot wingspans, but they showed no interest in any of them at all because they were looking for 3.5 foot gray birds that the sandhill cranes are. Its brain had locked onto that template during the first weeks of life.
It's what they see.
It's like
They don't
you know
have
how, like,
mirrors.
if you hatch a duckling, it'll follow you around like you're the mama duck.
Yeah.
The same shit happened.
Yeah.
So these scientists were like,
Why is
huge
this duck
success.
trying to have sex with me?
These scientists were like, fuck yes, huge success. We hatched all of these eggs, 73% success rate. We're going to bring this population back in no time until it became mating season. And none of them were interested because they identified as sandhill cranes. And so the entire population of the ones that they had reared in sandhill, the whooping cranes that they reared in sandhill crane nests, died. No replication. They did not make any offspring whatsoever. Complete
Why can't they do that with
waste.
mosquitoes?
They do that with mosquitoes.
They mate with somebody and they're like, oh, you're the one I'm attracted to.
One of Bill Gates' many nature
Philanthropic endeavors.
one of his initiatives is to
Yeah, no, he's big on the mosquitoes.
they release sterilized mosquitoes so that they will breed with everybody and then it doesn't turn into anything.
Yeah.
Anyway, I thought this was really interesting that you can actually, that at least with birds, that they identify. It's the nature versus nurture problem. Like their nature was to be a whooping crane, but because they were raised as sandhill cranes, their nurture took over and they weren't willing to do any mating or live life as a whooping crane. They were only willing to live life as a sandhill crane.
Do you want to hear my nature story? That is interesting. It makes sense. It's like, do you ever see the movie The Jerk?
Yeah, I saw the movie The Jerk.
It's like the movie The Jerk.
He was like, I was born a poor black boy.
That's right.
Yeah, it's just like that.
It's like the movie The Jerk. Or Elf. Which is kind of a
Or
take.
Elf, exactly.
Did you ever hear of this? No, you haven't. Scientists discover a deep sea whale graveyard at 6,000 meters where carcasses up to 5 million years old support a previously unknown ecosystem.
5 million year old
Carcasses.
That's so awesome.
Woo-wee. Say what?
They call that it's so interesting how when whales die, they just fall. They call it a whale fall. It's actually like the word. There's a really weird novel that they just turned into a movie with fucking Josh Brolin in it. And I just saw the trailer for it. It's called Whale Fall. And it's about a guy that gets eaten by a whale. That's not a spoiler. It's in the trailer.
Damn it.
And I'm dying to read the book because I can't imagine like how that's actually a story that Hollywood was like, this one's going to be a hit, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
But anyway, that's interesting that they found a whale graveyard.
It's so whales, whale falls are biodiversity oases at seabeds, yet their record from the oceans has remained sparse and fragmentary. Here we report the discovery of a vast whale necropolis in the Diamantina zone, extending about 12,000 kilometers along the seafloor of the southeastern Indian Ocean. This area has a deep and extensive accumulation comprising of 5 modern natural whale fall communities and 476 fossil cetines. Does that right? Sound right? Or caetions? Cetaceans. Cetaceans.
I don't know if that's how you say it. Cetaceans? I don't know.
It's probably cetaceans recorded.
I feel like that's one of the words I've only ever read, and I don't know how it's pronounced.
We show that carcasses host specialized communities dominated by brittle stars, bone-burrowing worms, and chemosynthesis-based bivalves, and that the fossil record in this area comprises both extant and extinct. God, I've never put those two words together. Deep diving beaked whales. Isotopic dating shows that whale falls in this region have occurred since at least 5.3 million years ago. It's so interesting to see them because you know they're dinosaurs. The whales are like, oh, it'd be so cool to live among dinosaurs. We do.
Yeah.
We absolutely fucking do.
Well, that's fucking crazy because there's not a single surface of the earth that hasn't changed a bunch of times in that amount of time. But
maybe there is. Apparently there's at least in 5 million.
No. I'm saying like of the land. But under the sea,
oh yeah,
shit can just fucking pile up down there.
For 5.3 million years. The findings reshape the understanding of the limits of biogeography of whale fall ecosystems and establish some deep sea floors at a fossil archive for tracing cetacean evolution over geological time.
Here's what I think.
I'm immediately
I think,
thinking like game devs need to get a hold of this.
Well, what I think we need to do is get a ragtag team of billionaires, right?
Yeah.
And get them into a submarine to go and explore and really find out what's going on down
James
there.
Cameron? He's the guy. He's your guy.
No, don't invite him. He actually knows how to build a submarine. That's what I think. Just to boost morale. I think that the rest of everybody, all of the pores of the world, would really just like to find out what the billionaires can uncover from the deep ocean. We just want them to report back as a morale boost.
Remember, we used to know this guy. We used to know this guy who he used to say, when the universe expands, I contract. What else did he say?
Oh, this guy, he's not just a guy. This guy had one of those really creepy, like, he was a self-styled self-help guru.
Yeah.
That was doing basically like pickup artist stuff. Like he was trying to teach men how to date women that don't want to be dated.
Yeah, it was like how to get laid on their first date.
It was absolutely
like
fucking horrible.
Repulsive.
Anyway, we were forced into some sort of arrangement where we had to like exchange emails with him, and his email signature said, because he was trying to be like, it was so stereotypical. It was like if you think about the movie Magnolia and how they wrote the character that was played by Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
That was so brilliant, and he's just like completely like dipshit level awareness.
Yeah, yeah.
And like so sure of himself that he's not even aware that other people perceive him as being a total dipshit. Anyway, so the guy's email signature was, when the universe expands, I contract. And when the universe contracts, I expand. And ever since then, you've been saying it in that like voice.
The universe, yeah.
Because for sure that's how he heard it in his mind when he typed it.
Well, I haven't thought about it.
And it makes no fucking sense whatsoever. Like, you have to be an absolute fucking smooth brain to fucking think that that's profound.
I immediately thought of him because there's this study, and I was like, I know exactly which way George would turn. The study says that people have a natural tendency to turn to the left and walk in an anti-clockwise direction.
Yes.
A bias observed across countries, ages, and sexes, but the reason is unclear. But I just thought about him, and I thought, not George.
No. Mm-mm.
When the people turn left, he turns right. when the people walk anti-clockwise, George walks clockwise.
You have to think that way if you're trying to tell people that when the woman that you're targeting to try and talk to
says no,
says I'm actually fine, I'm just waiting for my girlfriend to show up. Like, no, actually, like, I have a boyfriend or whatever. You have to take that as like a challenge. Fucking the worst people.
Truly.
I think that the reason why that is, though, is our brain structure. Because, like, you know how our brain is in two hemispheres? You know that, right?
Yes.
Okay. And so there's some parts of our brain that that handle different functions.
Of course.
That the other side doesn't necessarily. Like,
Till the
obviously,
myelin goes away.
like our speech centers are on one side. I can't remember which, but it's like right above your ear, on just one side of your brain. So if you get brain damage there, if you're young enough, sometimes the brain elsewhere will share the speech center jobs, you know, they'll just adapt.
Yeah.
But if you're too old and you don't have that kind of like elasticity in your brain matter, you'll just lose your speech forever if you get bunked in the head in the wrong place. So what I think happens when the reason why people turn left, it might be that their right side of the brain handles their spatial orientation, or maybe the decision making of that motion.
Yeah.
Maybe. But whatever. I'm sure if the article says scientists don't know why, then I don't know why either.
Cynthia Marino showed up and went LMAO twice. I imagine she's gone now. Thanks for coming by, Cynthia. LMAO. Happy Your Life says, hey, have you seen A Murder in Mansfield? It came out in 2018, but the story happened in 1989. No, we should watch that.
Maybe.
I don't know.
A Murder, that sounds familiar. You know what we did watch, though? It's new on Netflix.
Yeah.
Maternal Instinct.
Oh, yeah. That's
is a crime documentary
that will
disturbing
forever.
Stay with you.
Yeah, it's disturbing.
I've been thinking about it ever since.
It's brutal.
There's a level of absolute crazy that is so.
It is one of the most
extreme.
brutal documentaries I've ever seen in my life. It's Insanity. Do you want to give us some tiny pineapples while we're at it?
Oh yeah, that's gonna be a Mansfield. That's gonna be 4 tiny pineapples.
It's a really well-made documentary. It is the most hideous story you've ever heard. Of course, once you start watching it, you'll probably remember that you heard about it when it was national news. But what's it called again?
Maternal Instinct.
I'm gonna give it 4 tiny pineapples. Actually, speaking of which, we also have some more tiny pineapples, and we might as well give out while we've got us a few more minutes. We watched, what's it called? Your Friends and Neighbors. We saw everything, right? We've watched it all.
Yes,
We're all up to date.
we watched 2 seasons of Your Friends and Neighbors.
First season was a 3.5 for me, 3.5 tiny pineapples, but it was an enthusiastic 3.5 tiny pineapples. I enjoyed it. I had a lot of issues with the writing,
Oh my god, so many fucking issues.
but I ultimately enjoyed it, and I thought that there was a lot of fun things going on.
You know what I thought was different was interesting? You know how in the first season his the protagonist's adult sister is supposed to be quirky, and so they never have her like seated
Sitting
normally.
on a chair. Yes. She's like,
It was like one of my-
cross-legged on the kitchen counter, or
Anytime you see her, she's sitting
sitting
weird.
like Mork on a couch.
Anytime you see her, she's sitting weird, and I started pointing out like, oh, you see how she's doing that? That's because she's quirky, and that's how you know.
Yeah, a lot of that cliche,
So they stopped.
tropey.
So they stopped doing that in the second season, but in the second season they did more of this other weird, annoying thing where the writer will write one character making like a pop culture reference, but because he's kind of insecure, the writer is kind of insecure about it, I guess. He'll have the other character in the scene call out what the pop culture reference is and then like praise the guy for saying it. So he'll make a reference, and instead of just like letting it sit so that the people at home watching, the audience can be like, oh, I got that. Instead, he's like, no. I'm going to beat you over the head with it.
The second season was rough for me for the most part.
So rough. There were
Yeah.
like entire episodes where I was like, oh my God, nothing is fucking happening. And I do not give a shit if their daughter doesn't go to college.
It's like a show that really doesn't understand what it is. Like, it's got the one thing, which is like almost like a, sort of like a, I don't know, kind of, it's like a Breaking Bad kind of vibe, right? This guy, but it's like not, when what's his name, played by, what's his name in Breaking
Are you
Bad?
talking about Bryan Cranston?
Yeah, Bryan
in
Cranston.
Breaking Bad?
Yeah, what was his character's name again?
Walt.
Walt, yeah. Walter
White.
Yeah, Walt White. Walter White was faced with this, like, I've got so long to live. Like, he got this ticking clock, and he's got to go and get the money, and he's a chemist, and he's like, I'm gonna fucking do it. I got to do it.
Brilliant.
Yeah, and the way he had it down to the nickel, like everything about that was just so fucking deeply engaging, right? It was like they leveled up with that show. The whole Dexter premise, right? Where you're like, yeah, man, I'm going to root for you because you're killing bad guys. Yeah, I'm going to root for you because you're trying to save your family, doing the thing that you know how to do best. So there's like these moments of consent, really, or where there's a mutual, like, I don't know, whatever, almost as if like you, the viewer, are like, okay, I'm going to give you permission to behave this way in front of me, and we watch this and we enjoy it. This show's like, it didn't have that element where you're like, oh yeah, man, you're committing crimes because you have to, and it makes sense, and I'm rooting for you. I want you to have all this super luxurious shit in your life. Like, it just doesn't play in that way, so it didn't have that kind of leverage, or that kind of relatable aspects. But it was still entertaining, and I liked how like there's sort of like sort of highfalutin like aspect where he's explaining the things he's stealing, almost like you would read about them in a museum, kind of thing. So it was entertaining. The second season just didn't seem to have any fucking identity.
No.
It didn't really know.
It's like they didn't know what the fuck to do.
What story it's following when.
For like the first 3 episodes, literally the only conflict that's happening is that they're all stressed out that their teenage daughter doesn't want to go to college. And I cannot possibly give a shit about that.
Right.
Like, I don't understand what they were doing.
Yeah, and
Why
there
was
was
it
no
such a
there was no
crisis?
story involved. Like, that could become a compelling story if there's something, relatable and deep.
Oh, and the
important.
neighbor's dog shits on the lawn. Like, guys,
Yeah.
like this is not a TV show worth watching.
And these writers have this habit of like wanting to constantly up themselves, like one up themselves. It's like everything has to accelerate. Like in season 1, it was like so there's this thing about people who learn how to write, learn how to write. And the learning part, I'm going to be a little annoying with, because it's like more like people who like read like handbooks on writing, like here's 12 steps to writing a screenplay.
Oh,
And
yeah,
like
right.
those things can be helpful, but they're like it's like tarot readers who don't like actually study tarot. They just learn the basic meanings of the cards and now they're experts. And like, but tarot is supposed to invoke a story, a deep and important story that is, that is, sort of extracted from, circumstance meeting, esoteric imagery. And
So are you saying that Your Friends and Neighbors was formulaic?
yeah, dude, but to the most annoying degree, at times, where it's just like, can you not do it like right off the page? Like, I love a good old Blake Snyder beat sheet. Fun as fuck to I love laying them out. But the whole point about doing those for me as a writer is you lay them out and you start ripping them apart. Once you have them, that's when you start gutting them, you start rearranging them, you start understanding how these beats and these archetypes move in the most entertaining way to something. It's how you come up with something like Pulp Fiction, when you start to break the rules around the ideas that you have.
Yeah.
So you let the ideas be formed, formulaic, and then you let them take shape through skill, artistry, patience, persistence, right? Not these writers. And I get it, these guys are all on fucking deadlines or whatever, and I get it, okay, whatever. But it is like, checking the boxes off of like the, how to write a screenplay in 30 days. Like, it just checks the fucking boxes off. So it drove me crazy because it just was nonstop.
My worst issue with the second season of Your Friends and Neighbors was the pacing was really, really variant. Like, there were some episodes where I was like, this is dull as shit and absolutely nothing is happening. And then they would have an entire episode where I was like, this is like the first season. This is really
riveted.
great.
Yeah.
And it's just really strange that they couldn't figure out how to spread that out so it would be more consistent. I think that my ratings, my Tiny Pineapples ratings, I think I would give the first season, I would give an enthusiastic 3 Tiny Pineapples.
First season 3?
For the first season of Your Friends and Neighbors, because while I thought it was really fucking dumb and the writing was really like kind of annoying at times, like like really
I wouldn't say amateur, but
it
like
was extremely tropey.
immature.
Also, like, there isn't a single scene involving women, even lesbian women, where they aren't talking about men. So it totally fails the Bechdel test no matter what.
Like,
And
in
like
the worst
that's
possible way.
actually not anything that I typically even notice. It was so obvious though
Yeah.
that I was like, wow, like they're not even trying. Anyway, so even with that, I thought it was entertaining. And so 3 stars for the first season. The second season is 2, and all of those stars go to Amanda Peet, because she's amazing consistently throughout this entire season. I mean, the entire series. And I just feel like everybody wants to talk about John Hamm and all the newest thing that he's doing because he's really great. But she, for some reason, isn't being given her flowers, and she's perfect. But the show, I mean, I would just
I'm giving 3.5
I would skip the
first.
second season if you got something more interesting to watch.
I got a 3.5 first, 2.5 second season, 2.5 Tiny Pineapples on the second season. Do you want to watch the third one or not?
Yeah, I'll fucking watch it.
See, so it's 2.5, but we're going to fucking keep, it's so weird punishing ourselves. It's like, like I eat something that I know is going to give me a headache. I know what's coming. I know it.
Or
heartburn. You're like, oh, fuck. It's delicious.
But we should talk about Widow's Bay at some point, because that was a total delight.
Yeah, we finished it, right?
Yes.
Let's do it right now.
Oh, no, we didn't finish it. No, the last one was on Wednesday.
Right, the last one, we have one more episode. It got picked up.
They're doing another one?
They're doing another one.
Fan-fucking-tastic.
I loved it. I thought it was fucking great. It was like, where's it called? Widow's Peak?
Widow's Bay.
Widow's Bay. Widow's Bay is probably like the best horror television I've ever seen.
Do you remember?
Like it brings back, like it harkens back to old school, like, fuck, this is kind of tense. Can you back off a little bit? Like, there were a couple moments where I'm like, Jesus, it's just too tense. I liked it a lot.
So,
Gets a little Stephen King at times, but I like it.
Apparently it's a horror comedy. Do you know that tweet? There's a tweet that like went viral. It's like, now it's a meme. It's a picture of a lady. You can't even tell she's a lady, but it's a person that's just like sitting in like a little apartment party where they're completely dressed like head to toe, fully in like the Babadook outfit costume,
Yeah.
and nobody else is in costume. And the person is talking about how I thought this Halloween was going to be like a costume party, but it turns out to be like more like adults drinking wine vibe.
Yeah.
So she's the only person in costume,
Yeah.
and she's in complete like
That's hilarious.
yeah, it's just so strange. Anyway, that is the writer of Widow's Bay.
I'm no kidding.
Yes. So she's a comedian. She's been a comedy writer for a really long time, and now she's doing horror. So it's kind of like the same trajectory that Bill Hader did with Barry. You know.
She got really.
I'm here for it, man. I think that's awesome.
Yeah, she's skilled. I mean, there was nothing to complain about. Even when the writing isn't perfect, it's still really highly entertaining and still.
It's also like the cast has impeccable fucking timing. So all of the jokes are amazing in Widow's Bay.
It's a good one. I highly recommend it. Do you want to do some chat for a bit and then we'll go?
Yes. Did you have a nice time?
I did.
Tonight?
Yeah, it's a fun time.
I know you were feeling a little down in the dumps.
I mean, the energy right now just sucks for me. I'm not having a good time. The fucking water bursting and now we have no water pressure in the kitchen and the kitchen's got holes in it and nothing's put away. And
yeah, it just fucking sucks.
it's just like, I hate the disarray.
Yeah, being a renter is fucking super lame sometimes.
Just when things go wrong, it's lame. And then whatever. And I've had a headache all day and all that shit.
Jay Nicholson said, this is why I love this chat, Dale and Angela. You guys get it, and I'm so over the Baldoni simps. They set out to ruin Blake Lively and more or less succeeded. I hate them.
Yep, they did. They succeeded. Now, what's the long-term play, and is there a documentary in the make? I hope there is. There might be one that she's like completely like giving everything to, but not like attributing herself. Like she's like not for attribution, but she's like, oh yeah, did I give you access to my entire digital? Oh yeah, that's where all the depositions are indeed. Yeah. Yeah, feast.
I went back to apparently when you were talking about Uncle Kenny's obsession with Marilyn Monroe.
Yeah.
And Archival Raccoon said that Uncle Kenny has the spirit of Hugh Hefner.
Yeah. Or Joe DiMaggio.
Hugh Hefner apparently was exposed as being like an absolute horrible tyrant.
Yeah.
And we didn't know that when he was alive.
It was somewhat predictable since he's like creating a mansion of naked women.
Yeah, but like he's supposed to be like cool jazz dad about it, like, but apparently
I had one chance to go to a Playboy party and I did not go.
I also was invited to a Playboy party and I was like, that sounds like a trick.
For me, that
sounds like a trap. That sounds like you're trying to, no thanks, I'm good.
To me, there was two parties that there was three parties I turned down. One was a guy said, hey, we're having an orgy. Do you want to come? No. Thank you for the offer. That's flattering. No.
I guess.
And then the other one was a party at Robert Blake's
Robert Blake's.
Not Robert Blake.
My God.
What's his name? Jack Nicholson's buddy. The guy who ran Paramount. The kid stays in the picture. Robert Evans.
Yeah, Robert Evans.
Robert Evans threw a party as he normally did when he was living. And somebody was like, you got to go because Jack Nicholson was going and all this other stuff. And they were like, so I was like, well, okay, well, it sounds like a good time. They're like, there'll be coke everywhere. And I was like, I'm not going.
Why?
Because I'm like, I'll start partying.
Yeah.
My mind is like, I'll start partying. I won't think because I'll be going, oh, I'll do this and I'll fucking do a couple bumps here and just have some fun. And the next thing you know, I'm in deranged shit. My brain is broken. I'm like, no, I'm not gonna. This is gonna be a bad scene. I'm not gonna go.
I also felt that way. I don't know why, but like Los Angeles has a cocaine problem. There's always like if you're in a certain age group or a certain wealth bracket, there's fucking cocaine everywhere all the time.
Yeah.
And I remember also having this like paranoia where I'd be like, no, it's cool. I'll do that with my friends. But I'm not going to do that in this like mixed company. I don't know how you guys party.
Yeah, right.
I don't know if you guys get fucking weird.
I need
don't know
some
if somebody,
trust.
like,
I need trust.
Wants
yeah.
to like fucking twirl guns and shit. Like,
right,
you know what I
exactly.
mean? Like
your turn.
Right. Like that scene in Boogie Nights where
Right,
he's
right,
like
right.
being held fucking hostage by some guy who's like too high. This documentary, Murder in Mansfield. I don't know where I guess we can watch this on Philo TV. Do we have that?
No, but maybe you can get it.
A Murder in Mansfield. So I looked this up. If we can watch it, we're going to. This looks interesting. Does that make us fucking giant sickos that we watch crime documentaries as entertainment?
It's some of the most popular television, so I guess we're just
We have good company. We're in good company with these
Well,
the rest of us sickos.
we have plenty of company. Let's say that.
Let's
No,
see.
I mean, listen, I mean, I'm curious about it. I guess I don't know, whatever. It's kind of no brain like I have to like I don't know, whatever. Some of it's fascinating, some of it's horrific, and it is what it is. Hugh Hefner is buried next to Marilyn.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's creepy.
I was only at Marilyn Monroe's grave once,
Yeah, and it was before he died.
much long before. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
DiCaprio is always try and make the greatest project of all. Let me back up to see what she's asking about. You know, I'm going to answer these questions. Does that mean if you put Leo in a whooping crane nest, he wouldn't have been Jack Dawson because he would have been a whooping crane?
He would have been a sandhill crane.
He would have been a sandhill crane.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what would have happened.
Yes.
He would have
Only if he was a crane, though. I don't think it works for humans.
Speaking of Leonardo DiCaprio, Tobey Maguire has some. I guess there was some
You know
pictures about him and his 20-year-old
One thing I know
girlfriend.
about Tobey Maguire is that he loves it when people do that, by the way.
When they do
You
it.
said, speaking of Leonardo DiCaprio,
Oh, yeah, no,
let me
yeah.
talk about Tobey Maguire. He's like, yes.
Yeah. Anyway, he's got
Name association.
He's getting the sleeping with young girls. You know.
Yeah, because they're the only ones naive enough to fucking not see how fucking creepy he is.
He's
Guy's
so
a fucking
creepy.
creep.
So let me see. But what did you ask? Kind of DiCaprio. Oh my God, your life has been so crazy. That's true. Was it like Clerks? Mr. Beast is so addictive. Connie DiCaprio said she can't explain it.
Yeah. Do you think it's like a black magic? Do you think they put like mind control?
Probably.
Do you think they like in between the frames, like there's like if you slowed it way down, you'd be able to see like the fucking imagery being zapped in your to make you obsessed with it?
Sort of. Guava said, since the 1980s, we've been back on a path towards a major breaking point in capitalism. It's come many times before, and the whole New Deal thing was to prevent it from happening again. Yeah. Yeah, well, you can't, I don't think you can protect the world from capitalism because capitalism, it requires growth, exponential growth, and think that's not natural. There's nothing natural when,
When you expect infinite growth in a closed system?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not gonna work. It can't work. Like I had a friend who deals in stocks, and he goes, "I can't explain, man, but it just keeps going up." And I'm like, "It has to. It is designed to go up. If it doesn't go up, all economy collapses.
I was thinking about this today about
So they're gonna force it to go up."
It seems totally absurd to have like a philosophical like a good think about our culture and our society as a result of the fucking UFC fight on the White House lawn, but this is what happened to me. It sounds super super stupid. It's like it's like you could tell I'm not a very deep thinker that like something like this will cause me to be like, But I was thinking about the reason why we have not seen anybody champion integrity or honor or any of these things for a very long time. Like the people that seem to be our celebrities and our leaders and all of those. It was like a few decades ago, like integrity and honor used to be like really important things, and now they're not anymore. And I believe that the reason why is because in late stage capitalism, the only things that have any worth whatsoever are those things that can be commoditized. And integrity, personal ethics, morals, personal integrity cannot be bought or sold or commoditized in any way or rented or subscription serviced. And so these things are no longer valuable, and they're just going to be completely ignored in our our grand like communication of media and anything that gets promoted and put in front of us. So that's why we don't see any, I think that this is why we don't see like in celebrity and politics and any of these other spaces, we don't see anybody ever talk about like, basic fucking honor and integrity anymore. It's because you can't sell it. You can't sell it. It's not something that you can be like, that you can sell somebody a way to obtain it. I think that's why intellectualism has been like kind of downgraded as a virtue, because it's also something that can't be commoditized. Like if you read a bunch of books, you get really smart, you can have like really great conversations. That's not something that anybody's going to pay you for. And that's not something that you can exploit other people's labor for. And so now in our late stage capitalism, that's something that is completely worthless.
Yeah.
Because the only things that have any worth anymore are something they can exploit. So like your integrity is worthless because they can't exploit it.
Delegate showed up and said, I'm going to start from the beginning at 1.5. Don't mind me. Once again, we are reaching a breaking point that will inevitably result in the revolution of socialism or fascism. Yeah, I agree. That's definitely the path we're on. Sarah says, this reminds me of
I
when...
won't share my deep thoughts anymore if you're not going to comment on them or talk about them.
What did I do wrong?
No, you didn't. But what did you think about what I said?
Well, I don't know. Now you're putting me on the spot.
You don't know?
Not really.
About integrity as a commodity?
Yeah, I mean, it's just a sad state of affairs.
But don't you think like it's an interesting, I don't know, whatever. I thought it was an interesting explanation for this trend of like, we don't even talk about these things as virtuous anymore. And I think that there's a legitimate reason for it. And it's because of capitalism has reached the ends in which every single thing has to be like squeezed like the blood from a stone, right? Like it's like everything has to be exploited. So what cannot be exploited no longer has any value in our society.
Yeah, I mean, I it's corrupt on every possible level. So yeah, absolutely. Let me see. So Casera says, this reminds me of when Steve Martin thought he was Black and the Jerk. Oh, so you caught it on. I didn't even see that comment. That's hilarious. Exactly.
No. That's what you said. You guys were on the same wavelength. You and
that's what I'm saying.
You said it and Quasar said it.
Yeah, we both said it. That's really funny. Haha, great minds. Kind of DiCaprio says, does that mean if you put Leo in a whooping? Yeah, we did that one. Free Luigi. Absolutely. Oh my God. That's another fuck this world. Yes, watch it. Also, the kid is now an adult and has a YouTube, so you should interview him. He's a filmmaker also. Yeah, let's go. We should start thinking about that. We're going to talk about that. Okay. I wish you could get like somebody who could like book us interviews. I'll take anybody. I will. But just send me what it's about. I don't care who thinks it's interesting.
We should just ask the people who hang out with us in the chat if they want to be interviewed.
Okay. Do you want to be interviewed? Mm-hmm. I'll interview. I have 1,000 questions.
Do we know how? Do we know how to do it?
Interviews? Yeah. Oh, yeah. I could dial anybody in.
Oh, yeah?
No problem, man. Yeah, give them their own whole screen and put them in.
Let's get started. I'll get my dad on.
You will? What were you interviewing for?
I don't know. He'll probably tell you some like...
Furry chest? Life with a furry chest? He'll
probably tell you some like unsolicited story about like the history of China's economy or something you're like, why have we been talking about this for 30 minutes?
Kylie DiCaprio missed out. She took out something. I said, when you make a project, do you always aim for 5 out of 5 tiny pineapples or some other projects, blah, 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 3.5. When you make a project, when I make a project, I'm always thinking about 5 out of 5, 100% always. So I always think like mastery. What do I tell people? Greatness is the goal, not, there's no time limit. You're like, so greatness. So I understand greatness is something that is practically unachievable, but I always keep greatness as the goal. In this way, like, even when I miss, there's something there that's substantive, and I don't know if substantive is a word really, but there's always something there that I think is, yeah, man. Here's the way I was raised, I guess. I don't know if raised is the right context. I've always been of the mind that if you're going to do the best you can. Like, just do it all. Don't fuck around, and whatever. I mean, there's some bullshit to that I've kind of learned, got a little jaded about as the years have gone by. However, when it's something you care about, then it has to be everything. You have to give everything to the things you care about. But that doesn't mean that you can't decide what everything is. And this is an important distinction because, like, everything doesn't mean that everything has to be a masterpiece. It has to be everything that everything has to encompass that which you make as everything. In other words, like imagine like you're working in a sandbox, you're creating that sandbox, right? So those are the boundaries. Those are the sort of limitations, because we don't make projects with unlimited resources. We can't make fucking The Godfather with our $5,000 for our friends in a fucking old whatever Canon fucking whatever. So everything's 5 out of 5, but 5 out of 5 in context. Like I knew when I was making when I was making Small Group, I knew what it was. You know what I mean? I knew what I wanted it to be in terms of what it was, and it reached that. In the same way that Don's Plum was. Like I knew Don's Plum wasn't Apocalypse Now, but I did know that. But I believed. But I knew what Don's Plum was. What's the best way to put this? I knew what Don's Plum could be within its limitations, and I believe we achieved everything that it could be within its limitations. So the answer is you want to create and achieve everything that something can be. Right? Like if you're a fucking person with one leg, you're not going to become a fucking Olympian, track runner.
Well, they have Olympics for that.
Regular Olympian. You can't poke holes in this. So it's always within the limitations, or within, because Lars von Trier, bro. The thing I love about Lars von Trier, I talked to him about the Dogma 95 thing back in the 90s, and I was like, what's the fucking point, dude? What are you doing by telling people they can't use anything other than a DV recorder, and that they can't use anything but source sound, so no score or any kind of thing like that? Like, what the fuck are you doing? What is the point? Why are you doing that? And his answer was more or less that the idea is to find the limitless creative abilities within the limitations that are imposed. So, just because you can't use a score or a soundtrack doesn't mean you can't have music or musicality in your film. And so then it opens up this whole other world or dimension of creativity. So everything is about what you can do within the confines of where you're working and what you're doing. This is the important thing, right? Like I'm not going to write a book like Cider House Rules or anything by John Irving. Like that guy writes the densest, he's one of the great writers of our time. So, and I understand that as my limitation, but that doesn't mean I can't write a great book. I'm not going to make, a movie as good as Shortcuts, but that doesn't mean I can't make a great movie of compilation stories. So it's just about like understanding and agreeing with your position. And that's what I think it is. That's a really important part, agreeing with where you are. Because if you don't, then you end up creating these goals you can't achieve. So it's always, you to be able to achieve the greatness that you're capable of. What was that guy's name? The guy who was like on the spectrum, Daryl. He did those albums, and he was an artist, and he was on MTV. He was this thing. What was his goddamn name? He did the M.
I want to say it's not Robert Johnson.
Daryl Johnson? Darnell Johnson? No. I can forget his name. Let me get this name. This is important because he's a perfect example of what I'm talking about.
Daniel Johnson.
Daniel Johnson. Look up Daniel Johnson. Daniel Johnson was this like, he was like, I don't know if autism is the word, but he was on the spectrum, but yet he created this like really great art. He wrote great poems. I think he fucking did these like great drawings and graphic art that was all like, but it's all like rudimentary shit. Like it's all very like, his songwriting was rudimentary, but it was good. And so
there's a really great documentary. I think you can watch it on YouTube. The Devil and Daniel Johnston. Yeah,
The Devil and Daniel Johnston is a great example of what I'm talking about in terms of finding.
I don't know if that's the one
5
that we
out of
saw,
5.
Though. That's a 2005 documentary. Is this the one that we saw? I guess it's the only one. Anyway, he's great.
He's a really great example of what I'm talking about, because it's all about like finding that greatness that is there within the confines of your world. I guess that's the best way to put it. I don't know. know your limitations and then perform beyond them to the best of your ability. And you'll always be a 5 out of 5. And it doesn't matter if you're a 2 out of 5 to anybody else. You know?
Kindly DiCaprio said, me and my friends are deciding, should we go to Hollywood after the summer or should we go to college? Do you have any advice? What should we do?
Both are crapshoots. Hollywood sounds more fun. Hollywood sounds more adventurous. Hollywood sounds more dangerous.
The question is, do you have money for either or both? Because going to Hollywood now is extremely expensive. So if you go to college and then you go to Hollywood, are you bringing a bunch of college debt to Hollywood?
Listen, here's how I feel about it. You got to sit and think about what is right for you, what is true. You have to know the true. And if you can't, then you have to sit long enough to find it out. Like I knew sometimes it'll come instantaneously. And when it doesn't come instantaneously, when there are questions, you have to, for a lack of a better term, meditate on it. It doesn't mean you have to sit in some kind of lotus position with your eyes closed in a specific breathing pattern.
I have a question for you.
It means that you have to take your mind and empty it of everything else other than the thing that you're focused on and allow that to speak to you in a way that resonates into your deepest chambers of feeling and intuition. And when those are activated, that's when you'll know what to do. That the answer is 100. I hate to sound gooey. The answer is 100% within yourself, but you cannot take for granted that what you're hearing is the answer that's within yourself until you've gotten rid of everything else and you're left alone with the thing that you're faced with, this existential question or whatever it might be. In this case, this question about your future. You know, where does the tone inside? When does the tone begin? When you feel the resonance of that tone, that's the play. It's like using to get water.
Dowsing rod.
Dowsing rod. Your internal dowsing rod. Like there's.
Okay, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
If you could knowing what you know now, if you could go back and do it again, and there was no guarantee that like you were gonna fall into this group of friends that were connected and doing stuff, okay?
Yeah.
Like if you were going, you didn't have any connections, you didn't know anybody, and you didn't anticipate knowing anybody. Is there a way that you would approach trying to begin working in Hollywood, knowing what you know now?
Yeah. So the first thing I would do is get on a set.
Get on a set.
And the way I would get on a set would be
like a PA.
I would try anything. I would be a PA. I would be a extra. Like if I'm leaning toward acting, I'm going to go extras. I'm going to just be on a set and be an extra, and I'm going to watch. I'm not going to be interested in like the conversations that the extras are having with each other about who they know and what they know and the party they went to. I'm going to be watching the set because the wildest thing about getting on a set is that when you get there, you discover who you are. Because it's like the dowsing rod, you will gravitate toward it. Like the very first time I got on a set, I immediately knew what I wanted. And if it doesn't come with that kind of, if that doesn't come that quickly, you just have to keep repeating the process until it does.
I don't have a bunch of personal experience, but I know I had a ton of friends who were trying to do stuff in Hollywood, and the ones, even if they weren't actors, the people who seemed to be doing the most were the people who were involved with like improv comedy. So I would also, if I was going to Hollywood now, knowing what I know now, I would probably get involved doing like improv comedy, even if you have no intention of being in front of a camera, just because the people you're going to mix with are very busy and very motivated, and they have a lot of fun and they want to do shit. And so like typically those are the sorts of people who have like stories they want to tell. They want to make something, right? So that may be a good way to fall in. Also, I've been following a lot of the trades lately, and people just get fucking promoted. So if you actually want to work in Hollywood and get like paid, you're not just doing creative stuff, but you actually want to like put roots down. It seems like trying to get into these like agencies or these production companies or something as an employee seems like a pretty good bet, because people climb up, don't they?
Yeah, I mean, look, it's a hellish landscape. It's like any other competitive job. Everyone's going to be trying to outdo you, say the right thing at the right time in the right meeting. And
right. And it's also like if you didn't go to Brown, you don't get noticed or anything, right? Like, isn't there like a club where like a university club or something? Like if you don't.
I mean, there's all kinds of those little cliques. The important thing is to truly find what you're headed for, because what you're describing can become a nightmare. If you decide, hey man, I'm going to go in and I'm going to go down the executive branch or whatever, I'm going to try to get again, man, listen, man, you get this fucking one life, dude. You get this one fucking life. This is it. you want to spend it miserably pounding your head against a wall that's never going to break. All you're going to end up is with, a damaged head. What you've got to do is know what you want. And if you don't know what you want, then you have to swim out to it. You have to get into the waters and you have to find it. And it will find you as long as you're exposing yourself to it.
Also, if you have Hollywood dreams and you're thinking of going to college, are you talking about film school? Because that's an interesting idea. A lot of people I hear about that are making really great careers, they started in film school. And it's not a guarantee. A lot of people also that have great careers never went to college of any kind. So it's like
I'm skeptical about film school personally. I think that Hollywood is already will welcome you. Because all they
it's
want
about the connections you make, because it's all about networking, right? Like you were lucky that you fell into a network, but most people don't. They just are like, okay, well, I know the people at my restaurant job.
But the way to fall into a network is to get on a set. Like I'll give you an example, man. Like Leonardo DiCaprio loved Jerry Swindell. He loved Justin Hurwitz, right? He loved these two people very much. Like these were his close friends, right? One of them was his stand-in. And they became like inseparable.
You just got to know him.
They became inseparable, right? Jeremy Sisto's stand-in, Trevor Lawrence, they're friends to this day, to this very day. In Hideaway, he was his stand-in. So it's just like, look, you get on a set. If it's sets you want to be on, if it's movies you want to make, get on a set.
Kindly DiCaprio said, yes, my goal is to work on sets my whole life. I will literally do any job, but I really want to be there. You don't
need to go to college for that. What you need to do is you need to get on a set to do that. And get on any set you can, and just build the resume. Just build the resume, dude. Start PAing immediately. Just start PAing, and love it. Embrace it. Feel like when you get that job on the PA that your movie career has begun, because it has begun. It has begun. Yes, if you're an actor, follow the actor paths. But my recommendation is, even if you're an actor, get on the set, because when you get on the set, you'll know that you're the one who wants to be sitting on the other side of the camera, or you'll suddenly be like, what does she do? Who is she? And then you'll find out she's a second AD, and you're like, I'm going to head towards second AD. That looks like a romp. That looks like a really good time. Let me tell you, man, running a set at an assistant director level is a ball. It's hard work. It's fucking intense, but you are the glue that fits that set together. Mm-hmm. It is an incredibly awesome position. One that is, that brings a great deal of admiration, and is coveted. Like if you're kick ass, you are one coveted individual when it comes to, you had Kindly DiCaprio on your fucking set. Amazing. Get on a set, get playing the game, and then let the game discover you as you go along. That's how I see it. And no, I don't think you have to go to college. If you want to go to college, sometimes, like if you want to be a DP, then maybe you can go to SCAD and take their director of photography course, and that might be handy. But you can also just start gripping, and you can, or you can just start, PAing in the camera department. Because as soon as you start getting PAing on the camera department, everything that you learn at SCAD with that expensive tuition, you will learn and get paid to learn. So why not get paid to learn? Why not take your own college course and go out and, get on a set and pound? It's fucking fun too. Like, look, man, I regret not embracing that more. I should have just started over after Dunce Plum. I should have just went right back and just got right back into like a whole new crowd and just started at the very fucking bottom and let them discover my misfortune or whatever, and then see how that spent. Instead, I wanted to take my rightful place, right? And that ultimately limited me. But if I were to go back into Hollywood,
this is the thing.
I had a fight with my ex about it, because we were sitting in New Jersey in the fucking mid 2000s. It was like, I want to go back to LA, and I'm just going to start at the bottom. And she just would not allow it. She was like, no fucking way. You're not going to the bottom. I was like, why not? I'll just go to the bottom. I'll start PAing and I'll find my fucking way. Because I couldn't get producing gigs and whatever else. So anyway, go fucking,
I can't even
go to Hollywood if that's your dream. Go do it.
Because I would never be like, oh yeah, you you need my fucking permission to decide what you want to do with your life.
Yeah, well, it's a different world. And the other thing about going to Hollywood is going to Hollywood for what you're there for. Don't go to Hollywood to party. Don't go to Hollywood to get into scenes. Don't go to Hollywood to make friends. Let all that come naturally as a consequence of what you're there for. But let that be consequential, and let your focus. Here's the thing, dude. You got this one life. Be focused. Go there to do the thing you want to do, and it will come to you if your heart is true. And you'll know your heart is true because it's, you know, you're on the path. So get on to fucking do it, bro. And then like hook me up with your agent. You guys are really fun. It's wow, we did 2.5 hours. We're making up for Friday.
Oh, also next week we're not
Yes.
gonna be here.
Yes, next week we have the week off. So watch what, you know, fucking stories are dead every day. I'm trying to drag a story out
That's
from
when
somewhere.
it's gonna happen.
And then we're gonna take a week off and
then
Donald Trump's gonna die and all this other shit. We'll be like, we're back. One can dream.
If that's what it takes, I'm willing to do it. I'm willing to take a week off if that's what makes it happen.
Sacrifice my goats. You guys are lovely. It was great hanging out with you. I hope you had some fun, and you know, hope our coverage was okay. Haha, my favorite Lars von Trier video is him at Cannes digging himself out of the hole that he made when he empathized with Nazis. Fucking Lars, bro. I loved the guy. I also was, you know, quite moved by his recklessness as well. But all those Danes, man, you know, we worked with them when we were doing Dance Plum, and it was pretty cool, man. He's a cool dude. All right, you guys, or he's a weird dude with some cool sides to him, you know? You know how like sometimes like you look at the dish and it's really nice and then you turn it over and you're like, oh, so that's how you made it. Okay,